racing experience. Wow, racing maps await you. The new racing template is online. Create your racetrack gameplay. Navigate the forest racetrack. Unleash your racing passion. Surpass your opponents. Become the king of speed. Unlimited speed. Ignite your passion for speed. Play WoW now.
The world converges. The race to be the one begins. The 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship will be held in Bangkok, Thailand from November 24th to December 14th. The ultimate stage where legends are forged and champions are crowned. Let's dive into this year's updated format. The journey starts with the Gauntlet, a high-stakes 3-day stage where momentum and pressure peak from day one. The top 7 advance directly to the grand finals. Teams ranked 8 through 16 head to the group stage. Also new, Rondo replaces Sandhawk in the map rotation, starting each match day. After the Gauntlet, the PMGC continues with Group Green from November 28th to the 30th and Group Red from December 2nd to the 4th. 32 teams are split into 2 groups of 16. In the group stage, the mission is simple. Finish in the top 3 of your group to secure a spot in the grand finals. Place 4 through 11 and you get one last chance to stay in the fight. Land in the bottom 5 and you're eliminated. Once the groups are over, the final 2 grand final spots are determined in the last chance stage. 16 teams compete over 2 days on December 6th and 7th with no room for error. Only the top 2 keep their dream alive. After the PMGC League concludes, it's time for the final fight. The grand finals, the best of the best. 16 PUBG Mobile teams, including the host country, invite. Prove they are the one. The epic conclusion takes place from December 12th to the 14th. Who will rise on the road to glory, claim the crown, and take the lion's share of $3 million prize pool? Who will write their names in history? The journey to greatness begins here. Welcome to the 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship.
Pro çok DX zaten.
I don't think any MSL champion teams are stronger than us.
ممكن اقول لرؤوف طور لعبة لانه حبي احنا جايين ندمرك. بالتاكيد يعني احنا ابطال بمسل عربي. المينا ريجن من افضل الريجنات بالعالم.
Chúng tôi khá là tự tin ạ, tại vì chúng tôi là đương kim vô địch C nên chúng tôi không sợ. Chúng tôi đã đạt được một top 1 trong 1 ngày thì chúng tôi đến đây với mục tiêu phá kỷ lục. Chúng tôi sẽ cố gắng sẽ đạt 6 top 1 trong 1 ngày.
I think we will qualify straight to the final.
إذا أنت بطل بمسل ممكن تكون محظوظ بجيم جيمين، أما إنك تكون محظوظ إنك تفوز بطولة هذا الشيء مستحيل.
Bên Milan tại vì họ là một đội mới nên họ sẽ có những tâm lý khá là bất ngờ.
Büyük ihtimal Wolves'tan.
I think probably Virtus Pro just looks like that.
Не знаю, в принципе, дальше удачи нормально сыграли, там нет неудачных. И те, кто на удачу выиграл. Я посмотрел, типа, фавориты своих регионов выиграли.
Wolves Esports, they have Coops, best player in the world in my opinion.
Đội VP tại vì bên khu vực này khá là căng thẳng và họ chứng minh bản thân mình từ những ngày đầu tiên.
İyiler, kötü değiller ama heyecanlı oynuyorlar.
Также я считаю, что из всех победителей PMSL мы являемся самой сильной командой.
Pro çok iyi oynuyor. DX zaten bu PUBG Mobile oyunundan beri hiç sevmiyorum oyun tarzlarını kendimi. Söylüyorum ama oyun tarzlarını sevmiyorum. Yani bölgeleri güçsüz olduğu için ben MENA bölgesi demek istiyorum. Oradaki takımları biraz daha vurmak kolay diyebilirim. Main fight'a.
I don't think any MSL champion teams are stronger than us.
Я думаю, для нашей команды будет очень сложно зарабатывать только на плюсах.
ممكن اقول لرؤوف طور لعبة لانه حبي احنا جايين ندمرك.
Em muốn gửi một lời nhắc đến đội đầu tiên du lịch BML Milan. Các chơi của họ có thể là khá là ổn bên cuộc đấy, nhưng ra đây chúng tôi chưa chắc đã là.
Yes, I think we have a lower experience than the other teams, but I think this benefits us. It's in our advantage. because the teams don't know how we really going to play.
어디가 들으세요? 지금도 이렇게 분리시키 여기서 뜨는 제가 참 이제 이게 딱 예측되는 다른 나대 그죠 뭘 앤들지 뭐 이스트 뭐리 이스트 앤들지 한개 아니 하나는 감사했는데 하나는 감사했지 어떤 실패가 빼겠지 뭐였지 진짜 시달면 축구만
축하 이게 나와서 딱 죽었어.
이건 상당히 깜깜깜짝 Thank you for watching. Bye bye.
await you. The new racing template is online. Create your racetrack gameplay. Navigate the forest racetrack. Unleash your racing passion. Surpass your opponents. Become the king of speed. Unlimited speed. Ignite your passion for speed. Play WoW now.
DA 保持一样。DK， 我觉得这个不用多说吧。
谢谢。
Hello， 大家好，我是 T 战队的 King。大家好，我是 T 战队的派利。
السلام عليكم، معكم عبد الرحمن من فريق RIT سبورت المعرف ب ID7.
بالسيد عبد الرحمن، أول فريق متأهل للنهائي المركز الأول.
然后今天呢，我们要来预测一下绿组小组赛的一个排名情况吧。那就我先来，这个第一个 Ghost， 他应该是一个世界赛的一个新面孔。
هو الفريق ممتاز، أنا أكرهه بنادي ما.
他能够叫 Ghost， 应该也是非常有实力的。
第二个 PS， 好像落地打架能力还是比较不错的。第二个，
打得会不错。绿组的话，他们在今年在他们那个赛季上表现也挺好的。
都是对手，哪个对手，哪个看对手。
APG 第5嘛，前3名看起来命中有异常。
差不多。
ويحطهم
9第7这个位置吧，
放在这里。
RC 这个也算是老朋友了，我觉得可以放在这里。
关注后。狼队，这也是有点底蕴在的。放中间吧，不担心。
天霸的话，不用说啊，不用说啊。
不错了。还是 UP
陌生，
放中间吧。
公园领导分队要打。
nice。
PK， 我觉得这个不用多说吧。
谢谢。
FLC。
Gauntlet。
PS 的话，他们打的也确实挺好的，我觉得也可以放在这个位置。
你这个他控制法，不信，那这个呢？第一，好像这2个首发，由于天的问题到不了，保持一样。
好吧，不能先招黑。
王子，
当然是。
因为我好像是不会的。
很多以往的比赛吧，他们确实打得都很好，都枪很硬，尤其是那个 Rosemary， 所以我觉得排在第2，这个肯定是没毛病的。
لا والله حرام لا IC والله فوق
لا من جهة
IC تقني كان فوق على الصراحة ندير
可能需要小改动吧。
3要选1跟2，主要我第一次打不是很熟。
猜拳输的先选一个，然后再猜拳输的，然后再选一个。
然后说不。
不好意思啊，不是我愿意的啊，不好意思。剪刀石头布，你是不是心里想的也是这个？所以也是不太了解吧？对。
هذه توقعاتنا وامنياتنا، نتمنى صراحه انه الكلمات العربيه كلها تبقى 3.
希望大家都可以好好加油，狠狠的打我的脸，好不好？
نشوفكم القادم يا جماعه.
拜拜。
拜拜。
За сайн байцгаана уу? Намайг алтан гэрлээ өгсөн бүрэн баяр гэдэг. За тэгээд топ нэрээр Alpha Gaming багтаалгаа. Анх ерөнхийдөө Astract гэдэг багаас ерөнхийдөө мэргэжлийн төвшөндөө одоо ингээд фул тавьжсэн. Southeast Championship гэдэг тэмцээнд ерөнхийдөө авраг аваад яг мэргэжлийн төвшөнд ингээд тоглож байгаа юм гэдэг. За хуучин стат ороход манай багт ажил хийсэн гэж манай ажил хийсэн. Ерөнхийдөө яг явснаас хойш ерөнхийдөө миний тоглолт бол амар онсон. Амар оноод ерөнхийдөө аягүй жоохон тийм шанс байгаад байсан гэдэг. За тэгэхээр явсан ч гэсэн одоо надад том зорилго байгаа гэдэг. Амар тийм ерөнхийдөө амар хөө тэгээд хийж бодсон. Яагаад тэгэхээр бүх багууд яг ингээд сэтгэл ур чадвар одоо бүх юмараа ингээд дэлхийн бүх багууд яг адилхан төвшөнд очсон учраас ерөөдөө яг нэг тийм амар улаах байгаа. Тэгээд яг одоо өөрсдөө бэлдсэн юм гаргаад үзнэ. За ерөөдөө яг өдөрт хүртэл явхад намайг одоо ингээд хамтдэлсэн хүмүүс байгаа. Тэгээд аав ээж эхнэр тэгээд хайртай татны хүмүүс найз нөхөд одоо биднийг дэмжиж байгаа фэнүүд тэгээд одоо бүгдэнд нь баярлалаа. Бүгдэнд нь маш их баярлж өгдөө шүү гэж хэлээ даа. Тэгээд бид одоо энэ төвчөнд ерөөдөө чадхаараа сайн хичээгээд орноо.
كنا المرشح الاول لبين اوروبا وكل الناس كانت تدري ان هذا الفريق داخل يفوز وفعلا كنت اشوف حلمي قدامي بان احنا افضل فريق بالشرق الاوسط وباوروبا ايضا لين مزحه واحده وقفتني سنه كامله عن الاسم.
صلابه ممكن بتكون صلابه ممكن غير.
وهذا هو لازم حمزه يتحمل غلط.
وما كان يعني مبرر ان انا اقول هالكلام كان للاعب هذا. انا فعلا كلامي كان
اليوم كلمة باند معناتها ان انت خلاص انتهيت اوت، يعني هي تكسر اللي ما يتكسر.
بديت اشوف نور بسيط جدا في هذا الظلام. سنة باند موضوع جدا مؤلم كان وما كنت متقبل او مستوعب الفكرة اللي صارت، وهذا مو سبب وجهي اني انا اوقف اللعبه، انا لازم اكمل. خلص الباند سنه كامله كنت اشتغل واتدرب. جاء الوقت اللي انا يكون عندي حصاد وتعب لما تعبت بسنه كامله.
انا حاسه انه لا تنجح حتى جاء الموقف الصعب.
كنا بالرياض من بالشام عشان نلعب في مصر 2025. كانت اهلي كاس العالم. ان الوالد من المستشفى اخويا في مثل في الجروب يلا عشان نروح المستشفى. ودريت بالصدفه واتصلت بالوالد قلت له انا راح. كنت مشتت كثير. كان عقلي بالكويت جسمي بالرياض. مستواي مشتت كثير.
قال لا بدي اصر علي لا انا ابيك ساتان مو ضعيف، ابيك ساتان قوي.
سبحان الله رب الضارة النافعة. الوالد رجع الحمد لله، رجعت لصحته، وكان هذا دافع لي بان انا ما استسلمت، بالعكس طورت من نفسي. بعدين جاء الوقت اللي انا حسيت انه لازم اكون بطل معي في مسألة سيزون 2 كأن الله كان مخبي لي شيء اعظم بكثير من الاشياء اللي انا مريت فيها.
من هو الام في بي بقصة ساتان؟
ابوي.
والله يا حمزه يعني اعتمدت على الله ثم عليك للامانه. اول شاء الله يعني كنت اعتبر طفل، جربتك بالمستشفى رحله جايين يا ابوي وسكرتي، حسيتك انك وقفت مع اخوانك في البيت كاني موجود.
وجد ترجع لبدايتي، لولا الله كان دعمك وانك سمحت لي ما كان كملت انا بهالوجه. في كثير ناس ابهاتهم منعوهم من انهم يكملوا وما وصلوا للان وصلوا. النعم الكثير اللي كنا عايشين فيها فضلك من فضلك. هذا يعني انا لو سويت آلاف الاشياء نفس هذه مستحيل ارد 1% من يعني الحياه اللي عيشنا اياها او من واقف معانا سواء انا ولا اخواني.
الحين ببجي صارت يعني عالميا، والله صرت افتخر فيك. اذا جبت لي كاس العالم اوه هذه هني ولا احلى منها. الله يوفقك
صلابة مو بس إنك تقوم، صلابة إنك تقوم عشان غيرك.
Welcome to the final day of Group Green at the PUBG Mobile Global Championship. Today, ladies and gentlemen, teams will be looking to keep their PMGC dreams alive. And also, we have teams trying to secure a ticket to the grand finals. As I have Winner Circle here, but Donkey, you know what, since IQ decided to bump me, I do have a question for you. Yesterday, you started off the day in second place. Today, you are 9 points away from third place. You did have a hot drop yesterday that I felt like set the momentum for the rest of the day in Rondo. Are you guys looking to change that and not hot drop Falcons?
Speaking of yesterday, we had something in our mind that didn't go as planned. Because if you saw the yesterday matches, there were 2 playing paths in Rondo. One was going from up to the button, and other one was a little bit the side one, and that turned out to be a little bit of disadvantage for us, because when the teams already landed and they took guns before we landed, they shot us in air.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Are you guys going to be looking to change that hopefully today?
Yeah, today our plan is no one's listening. Our plan today is to one of us will be in the edge of the map to recall us, and 3 of us will fight.
All right, well, I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Thank you so much, and best of luck. I'm hoping you guys end up being in the top 3. Now, for that squad, they need to make sure they adjust their gameplay too, because a lot of teams are going to be riskier. And Osal, before you go and get ready, I do have some questions for you. Come over here with me, because day 1, it felt like the sleeping champions. Day 2, it felt like 2024 PMGC champions for D plus Kia. What was the biggest change that you guys were able to do from day 1 to day 2?
Nothing special, but first day we have like a personal problem and then a decision problem. Yeah, so and then but second day we solved the problem, so that's why we got good points, and we will be in top 3 at the end of the day.
I'm hoping that's going to be the case. Kamsahamnida, best of luck today. Because for this squad, this squad definitely needs to perform if they want to make it to the grand finals. They are the defending champions. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the top 3 go to the finals. 8 teams are going to be going to last chance. And the bottom 5 are going home. Let's see who's going to be going to the finals, who'll be going home, and who'll be going to last chance today.
I love that energy right at the start. That's right, PUBG Mobile fans. This is it. The final day for Group Green. No more excuses. No more messing around. At the end of these 6 matches, 5 teams are going home. I'm your host, Hot Jukes, here with Max Man and Neptura. Max, how hype are you for today?
Yes! Okay. That was that enough? Is that hype enough? No, I am genuinely so freaking excited, Hotchix, because as you said it, right, 3 teams here. Seven also mentioned it during that interview. Going straight to the finals, but for the first time today in PMGC, they're going to be saying goodbye to 5 teams, and that's going to be rough. Some dreams are going to be shattered, so again, the bottom, better start initiating that comeback. You don't have a lot of time left to go.
You don't. That is for sure. Neptura, right? You can see the schedule right here. The final day for Group Green, and then we're going into Group Red. But I'll tell you what, man, Group Green has been a blast to watch so far.
Oh, it has. It's been so much fun. I mean, the days have felt so short just because how much action we're seeing from all of these teams. And, you know, we've been talking about it over the last few days, right? But it's not going to stop today of just every single team feels like they're bringing their absolute best. There is no chance for mistakes, no chance to mess up in any of these games, because there's always a team ready to take advantage of that. And I love seeing that competitiveness in all of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to see the overalls right now, because that's what I definitely want to take a look at, Max, man. And when it comes to the overall rankings, right, there's 2 pieces that we got to really look at, right? Obviously, the top of the leaderboards, because we got those 3 teams going to the grand finals, and that bottom of the leaderboards, where those bottom 5 teams need to go crazy. Looking at the top, right, we got, obviously, GOAT and D+ that are going to be right there in that spot, right? So how do you feel about their chances going to the grand finals today, Max?
I mean, Otan is looking very confident, Hotchix, in interviews. Like, yeah, we're going to make it top 3, lads. No doubt in our minds. And that's the D+ that I know, right? That we saw perform, just destroy the lobby back in PMGC 2024 Grand Finals last year. But GOAT really true contenders here, Neptura. GOAT really, of course, going back in how they played in CSA, very impressive stuff. I was like, in globals, it's such a big level up. I don't rate GOAT team that highly, but no, they're really just popping off big time. Currently in 4th position, tied alongside D+. Maybe able to make history here for their squad and actually make it to a PMGC Grand Finals. That would be huge.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how GOAT are actually going to sort of adapt to what DK have been able to achieve yesterday, right? They've got that momentum building. You know, they're looking very confident. They're saying we're going to be top 3, and GOAT have done super well, as you said, but how are they going to react to DK's threat now? Because especially on a wrangle, they go very, very close to each other. D+ typically goes school, and GOAT go Pachinki. So I'm wondering, Max, if we're maybe going to see a little bit of targeting coming in the early stages, just to make sure for GOAT that D+ don't do what they want to do.
I mean, you have recall towers, right? If there's any point in time where you want to try and target a team with very small amount of risk, it would be Rondo. Just go for the 3-1 split. That we saw, for example, Naki mentioned that he might try and do in their hot drop happening versus Falcon in Neox Factory itself. Could be happening, but here are the leaderboards. And again, the tie between GOAT and D+ is going to be an issue. But going in the middle of the pack, still anyone here, Hotchix, can realistically climb back up into top 3. So APG, our Ultra Ego, GOAT, better be careful, because they're going to be chased down big time today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that if any team sees one of these squads, and once they get that elimination and realize who they are, I think they're going to go above and beyond to make sure they take them out. Because at this point, like, any kind of friendliness, you know, it's over, right? Because it's all about trying to get that ticket straight to the finals. You want to avoid that survival stage as much as you possibly can. So for now, I think we definitely got to take a look at the top, because that ticket is going to be super important. And you can see the different stats between GOAT and D+ right here. They are currently tied. I think they really cannot wait to get going, though. D+ took a couple games to get warmed up, but once they got warmed up, they were making it happen yesterday, Max.
Yeah, and definitely, once they were getting in the swing of things after day 1, they were able to just perform so damn consistently on their second day. Look at that, 64 eliminations in one day, Neptura. That's absolute madness from this team. I think you said it also while we were talking before the show started. Normally, Noble's the standout player, but Chips, what a day yesterday. He was on fire.
He was on fire indeed, and I just love seeing that kind of consistency come through. Consistency that I want to actually very much pay attention to here. We have the head-to-head from Noble and Rosemary, right? We have some incredible stats from them, but I want to focus on the points contribution. These two are MVPs, 24.9% to 23%. It means that even though they are the standout players, they're still contributing the exact amount they need to, which means every single other player is also stepping up, also putting in their 25% roughly, right? So it means that across the board, both of these teams, super consistent individually, everybody's pulling their weight, and that's what's making them so good here in the group green stage.
Wait, before we go on anything else, did I see he has a 16+ minute average of island time? He has a 2 elimination average. Like, the guy's alive a very small amount of the game compared to other people, and he's just popping off objects. That Rosemary, that was a great day. Day 2 was his day.
Rosemary was going crazy yesterday, you know, and teams that didn't go as crazy, right, but definitely put up some points was Loops versus GS, right? These are the two teams right there on that cutoff stage, right? So, in my opinion, Max, we talked about this during the Gauntlet, and I think it still applies here. In my eyes, we got 5 matches to do, okay? I'm not gonna lie. We got 6 total, right? But that last game is always wild, right? Because there's going to be some teams that know they're going home, and it's just not going to be a traditional map of Miramar. I mean, in the Gauntlet stage, the final day, I think we had like 20 players after Circle 5, right? So I hope the teams watch the Gauntlet and realize that, you know what, we cannot mess about. We definitely don't want to be waiting until the last game, right?
I mean, I remember what you were saying during the Gauntlet in the last game is like, we're not going to have any changes. That was our top 7, right? And that did end up being the case. So I would agree. You have 5 games, and then the last game is just going to be so hectic, so weird, so all over the place that it's really maybe not going to have a huge impact. But I'm still hoping one day Hot Chicks will see a team be desperate enough in that last game to try and make that jump up the leaderboards in that final match.
Yeah, well, they're going to be putting on some points, of course, on the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone of PMGC 2025. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory, empowering every gamer to hashtag be the one and hashtag outplay the rest on the global stage. Man, I'm telling you what, I'm so stoked for these games because things are going to heat up big here in Neptune. Now, we're going to go into Rondo, okay? For those of you guys that could be tuning in here for the first day, Sandhawk is over. It's all about Rondo. Look at the message boards. By the way, guys, make sure you go comment, hit those QR codes, and be a part of the conversation. Hopefully you can see some of your names up here on the board. And I see OG, right? They had a whole bunch of support here, but they are in that danger zone today.
They are in the danger zone, but not by much. If that win proves anything, it proves that they can do it. They are able to take advantage of zones and do what they do best. So I'm really, really hoping against hope here that they come back stronger today. It's the last day. They have nothing to lose. Just relax. Just go for it, Max.
I mean, I'm seeing also Truth with his comment there on the board. Go follow Truth, by the way. Amazing PMGC content. If you want to stay up to date with everything, the guy definitely deserves a shout out. He does great stuff out there. So good guy in the community. GG's. Let's go. That's it. That's my shout out.
I love it. I love it, right? And you can maybe get a shout out too, right? So make sure you're a part of that conversation, guys. You know, put your word in for sure because these players are going to need it. Keep it positive, man. I'll tell you what, these guys have worked all year long just to be able to get here. The pressure is through the roof right now, right? Especially for those teams on that bottom 5. They need all of your energy to be able to pull it out here because, like I said, 5 games in my eyes to really put up those points. But back to what we were talking about earlier, Max. Rondo, okay? Sandhawk is gone. Rondo is here. Yesterday, we saw some of the most crazy Rondo plays I think we've seen all year.
Neox Factory was such an oddity, right? The hot drop happening between that certain Pakistani team that I shall not mention and the side, of course, of... There was Luxie even at some point, right? And then Falcons going into it. Very odd. I do like what Noki said. Of course, they're going to try and fix it here in Niftra with that 3-1 split, which I think is definitely a big improvement. Are we going to see 3 teams in Neox once more? And are we going to have a double plane? There was clearly an issue yesterday. We have another double plane. Ooh, this Rondo is going to be hectic.
Yeah, it is. I don't hate the idea of a hot drop on Neox as long as you don't go in full squad because I think none of the teams at this point, the way the leaderboards look, looking so close, I don't think they can afford to have that, potential risk of just going out completely as we saw IC do yesterday. So I personally don't hate it, but they just have to be careful. You got to play it smart. Hot drop in on Rondo is fine. Just play it smart. Just do the 1-3 recall strat. You'll be fine.
Yeah, make sure you have at least that one person to get that recall going because for those of you guys that missed yesterday, the Falcons, IC, they hot dropped. Falcons ended up getting 7 eliminations off the rip here, and that really helped them out because they're currently sitting in 9th place today. They got a little bit of a point buffer, but not enough to feel comfortable, right, Max?
Exactly. I mean, the thing about Falcons, right, is that now we know they're at their strongest when they're only one player alive. It happened with Navarro. It was Ralph on the Miramar. Hey, maybe that's why they're taking a hot dog Nitro. Maybe the strat is we lose 3 players, we just play the solo from the start until the end, and we get like 30 eliminations. That's when they're at their peak.
Maybe, hey, look, it's just memes, but honestly, anything goes at this point, right? Because they're just on the cusp of that bottom 5. So anything goes. It's the last day again. I think that's kind of the message to any of the teams kind of 10th and below. Is just like literally relax. Either you do it or you don't at this point. You've got 6 more games. Just relax, play your game, and it most likely will be fine because time and time again we see what can happen when a team just finally goes, hey, you know what, we've done our best, let's just play our game now. And often it works. So well.
All I want really is to have a similar Rondo to yesterday, Hot Chicks, because absolutely similar. The EMP zone, the double claims, the pop up in Neox, we had that clutch recall from Divine on rejects, by the way, which everyone rejected out of the bottom 5. We've got to see something similar there, trying to avoid GS Team and Jadina City, but so many things happening. Rondo is slowly but surely becoming my favorite map in PUBG Mobile Esports because there's so much depth to this battlegrounds, and I am really hoping to see the teams get even better as time goes on this battleground.
Yeah, one thing that we talked about yesterday, real quick though, Max, right, was how GS is landing in Jadina City, and they have it for free because GK isn't here, right? So since they have that drop, right, how big do you think it is for them to be able to put up a big rondo here in this game?
I mean, it's an edge position, right, Niptura? So I would say it's good to have it for free, don't have to fight for it, but I don't think it's like game-changing altogether, right?
No, I think because the only thing I will say is that it gives you a lot of options because of how big the map is that it really gives you an opportunity to get really big, long wraparound rotations to avoid teams. So if you are a team that wants to do that, it's probably a better position.
All right, well, let's see if they can put that position to use, guys. Last day for Group Green. Let's see which team's going to get that chicken dinner on match number 1 with John Allen and Blake.
We are getting into Rondo, of course. Those recall beacons are up, live and kicking for the last time, potentially for some of our teams. Well, definitely for 5 of our teams here in Group Green. And they will be pulling every trick out of the hat. Hopefully, they'll be able to come up with something miraculous, but we'll have to wait and see. One plane this time around, Blank. We're keeping it simple.
Yeah, it was towards the north side as well. So it's nice and easy for a lot of our squad. But like you say, the last day now of Group Green, the final chance to get in towards that top 3. And you're right, it will be time to pull out all the rabbits out the hat here, because honestly, some of these squads, they really do need something special today to get in towards that top 3 or stay out of the bottom 5. I think that is a big thing we have to consider here, is that unlike the Gauntlet stage, someone's going home, and not just someone, 5 teams. It is a lot of players that will be cutting out here, going through as we get further and further into PMGC. We've got group break coming up shortly as well. You know, the action never ends here over at PMGC, but first of all, we've got to conclude Group Green.
Absolutely. Looks like we're going to be kicking off over the hot drop already on the cards as the sprays start to fly. It's APG, Falcons, set up in the middle. I think there's another team, Team Secret. All 3 of them playing around the test track right now. Really is anything goes to see if the Falcons can drop it in the same way they did off yesterday's hot drop. They're able to get quite a few points going out. Like they are 1 for 1, but they do get that flush confirmed. And Koa may be resible here. Doc not quite with the angle to stop that one going through. We've got Reject and Gen G also on a hot drop flank. Reject looking to try and win it. Jakey around the corner against APG. Seol though turns it, slaps him down with a machete as well, and gets the flush point on. Remember, these recalls still exist, and Team Secret immediately pulling one player back into the fold. Gen G not so lucky. Looks like 9Z also still have a player down, but we're not expecting those to stay down for too long. They can get straight back up. Oh, hang on a minute. I see it here as well. I didn't even see them, but they're into the play, and IQ's able to find Seol and get the flush.
Yeah, unfortunate result. Yeah, he actually got a full reset on the kit. I think he finished that fight with Team Secret there with 1 bullet left remaining in the magazine. He's able to get himself an S12K and a bunch of other stuff in the meantime, but not enough to keep them going. The Falcons, though, they're also playing this position. This is very different for Alpha Gaming as well. Usually they play a little bit more of a split across the map. In this game, they're slightly more aggressive and they get more points on board. I think they understand that they want to get ahead. I think right now they are far enough ahead that with maybe 2 games at 10 points, they sort of secure themselves in that top 3 with the way teams are chasing. It's a lot of profit multiple teams have to make. Because if Alter Ego and Gold catch up to them, it doesn't really matter all that much. They would have to have Alter Ego, Gold, DK, as well as Inner Circle, all doing extremely well to knock APG out. So we can kind of stop talking about APG for the time being. We're more focused over towards D+. Seven made a hilarious video yesterday where D+, trying to bulldoze their way back in towards that top 3. The teams are trying to hold them out for the time being, but they're doing a good job and tied now with Go in 3rd.
Oh, Koa trade against Falak. I barely even saw a sliver of him, but Koa saw enough. And he gets the flush as well. That is nasty coming through from Koa. I mean, Falak's got to feel pretty bad about that one. He should be able to get the res again. That recall is going to be such a major factor moving forward into PUBG Mobile in the ecosystems that we see. You can see immediately Falak is recalled. They have that outpost on lockdown.
Yeah, it's one of the situations where you're screaming desync, but you're in the same room. So it's hard to complain about that. But yeah, that was... I don't really know how that happened. It's definitely a case of Reg on our screen. Probably looked very different for the players. But either way, reaction speed of a small mongoose.
Small is important there because they're the more timid ones, which means they need to react quicker. You know, they're more in danger. But Redox right now, looks like he was a bit of a bigger mongoose on that one, and he will go down to IC. 3 elims found for Tianba, 4 for IC. Blank. This is big starts for these 2 teams.
I mean, Inner Circle's doing fairly well at the moment to hold off versus multiple teams. The only worrying thing right now for me is that this is the same approach Inner Circle took yesterday, which is why I don't really think they have an outpost here. So they are fully committed to this position on the map. There's Alter Ego taking shots down towards this way. You also have Falcons, Alpha Gaming, Loops, Team Secret on the outside. It's very rough. So Inner Circle has to have a much more confident and consistent finish here over towards Neox if they want to continue forward. Already finding 5 elims, though, is fantastic work for them.
It's a real boon to their tallies, but you can see players are getting back up thick and fast. We've had quite a few elims coming on through already. But for now, everybody, you could just see the streakers pouring onto the tables. Gen G, the only team to have stuck with 3 for the time being, but they're right on top of a recall beacon, and that one's coming in 3, 2, 1. No, not quite. Okay, they haven't managed to hop out of the vehicle just yet, but they are going for it. All the way down south near Lampo, and there it goes. Satan's back in the mix. Still sticking onto Neox Factory, onto the rooftops. Doc doesn't want to give up the ghost just yet. There's that recall beacon right in the middle of things, but that's much more dangerous than the rest of them.
I mean, for Alpha Gaming, this is a very different approach that they're taking at the moment. It makes things very messy for Inner Circle as well, where they thought they would be taking the fight purely with the Falcons. Alpha Gaming getting involved on this does create a slight problem. This should be an easy shot to make for Doc at least, and he will pick up the first knock there and the flush off the back of it. And now Noki's locked in. Right, it's very hard for him to move from that location, and this nade looks pretty decent.
Ooh, does get repositioned away from though. Noki maybe looking for loot, maybe spotted it coming. We'll never know. Either way, doesn't take damage from it. Adding a 6th elim, well, that would be pretty great. You'd love to see it. And they can control that recall as well, which means they can get their player back in nice and early, nice and quickly. Right on top of them as well. The EMP zone flaring out in the meantime. Over towards Wolves. This is on the sort of south side of the center of this circle. With the EMP coming on in. It is not ideal to be in there. It's not the end of the world, but can cause some uncomfortable situations like we saw yesterday, Blank, with the EMP forcing a fight where maybe it wasn't necessary.
Yeah. It's nice to see Coops on the Abacam as well. I think There's absolute laser beam at the moment. I don't get to see a lot of players who are on board though. Papra Supermassive. There's a lot of hope for this team, but it's coming a little too late on their side of things right now at 78 points. I think regardless, though, from yesterday's performance, especially Kamikaze, they have proven themselves once again to be quite a strong squad overall. So I think most fans of this team can be quite happy. Again, I imagine Last Chance is going to be very difficult for them, but it doesn't look hopeless going into it.
It's a glimmer, maybe, of hope. There are still qualification spots, and someone has to qualify from that Last Chance stage, right? At least one team is going to get there. Hopefully more. Circle pops in as the EMP zone fades on the fight. Genji on the east side, but it's Goat in the middle there. D+ as well now moving in on that north edge, moving down from Stadium. Seeing what they can find. It's now when teams are going to start to get stuck into situations where they can't go for these recalls. And I'm surprised that Inner Circle hasn't dropped that recall just yet. And in fact, have headed all the way out west to go for it. They are now starting to get it on board. But for Tiamba, they might not be able to be quite as accessible to it.
Yeah, it's a pretty unnecessary fight coming through from Inner Circle over on that eastern side, and especially with things being thrown into the mix, especially in Neox Factory around Test Track. That is a very tumultuous area of the map where anything can happen. And you're kind of concerned about Inner Circle continuing to drop there, especially on top of Falcons. There's plenty of other positions that are playable, and I think Inner Circle does thrive towards those end games. So why risk the full 4-man squad wipe at the beginning of the game? It's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it's not favorable, but not Valo. I mean, we know what he likes to do on his own in a single building, right? There's no way you're getting in there. You need at least 5 players, I'm pretty sure, to be able to take him down like that. Just the one's not going to cut it. No mustard was cut. Genji, here's Papra Supermassive, who have had some stellar plays, but still in the middle of those tables. They want to try and breach forwards. A little assist coming on through, and a lovely shot around the corner from Nico. They're finding more. Can't vault out there. I think there's an off angle to deal with, and a teammate to get rezzed up because GS are taking shots. They've got a lot of angles on this surround, so you need to be careful.
GS looked like a pretty tough team in terms of qualification. Like, they didn't look like they were getting anywhere close to it. I think the past couple of days, I think they've really improved, like, a lot. So I think no matter what happens to GS here, like, they'd be proud of the performance. They still have a little ways to go to get out from that bottom 5. Loops is definitely in danger, as is 9ZG. I think Falcons is slightly more safe, but if they continue on this trajectory where, you know, the 4v4s are just not great, even the 1v1s aren't great from the Falcons at the moment, then it's likely to go downhill. Nice shot from Lost, but now he's just providing information from on top of the rooftop.
The rest of Papra Supermassive not really in a place to assist right now, nowhere near, and they do need to just keep themselves going. I mean, they might be rezzable here. If Nico drops another smoke, keeps the cover going, but perhaps you just want to keep your wits about you. That nade doesn't even find it. Ooh, right in the smoke. Maybe they think they've cleared that corner. Drops another one around the edge. That does tag damage, so they know that they're in that courtyard. The reses have come through from GS as well. It should be just finishing on the res, but it's not going to be Nico to face them now. On a sliver of HP, it's just Lost, and he will not find it. You can see them on the east side there, just completely separated from Trombi and Kamikaze. They were isolated out to that west, and GS, well, they launch that opportunity, but they get the recall for Papra Supermassive very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the entire time, they've been sending out to a close-by recall position to get the rest of the players back up again. But for GS, well done. Very, very well done. That's versus a very, very difficult team to play against. And getting that full squad wipe is great. You know, taking the information gain that they grabbed off of those nades and then easily determining where the players are, even pre-spraying the smoke as well. I really enjoyed that fight. I think that was very nice from GS.
Well orchestrated. Genji trying to orchestrate their approach, but the Wolves have been outposted here for quite a while, Blank. They're fairly firmly entrenched. Teams starting to have their hopes of getting recalls dwindle right now. And that's probably most brutal for both Tianba and for the Falcons, right? One player alive, Falcons very, very central with their last player. But that's where they like to be. The analyst was talking about it before. Diamba, though, a little bit more out in the open as Narvalo has the nades. Let's see what he can do in this shack.
It is interesting looking at the way that Alter Ego and Alpha Gaming are currently playing at the moment. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Okay, that's a horrendous spray down over towards Inner Circle. I think two players are Reswood. Depends if someone wants to crash them or not. Either way, what I was saying about Alpha Gaming and Alter Ego is they're both playing very slow on the outside edge. And this sort of makes sense to me because realistically, Rondo is one of the best trampolines when it comes to accelerating your point scoring at the start of the day. And a lot of times that can be the make or break between getting in towards a top spot. Now, for Alter Ego and Alpha Gaming, what they're more concerned with this game is basically keeping other teams down. Right, so they're playing very much on the outside edge. They're not looking for central positions. They just want to make this game as scarce as possible for other squads. They don't want to get too aggressive here. They're just looking to injure, to cause casualties and slow this game down to a crawl, which makes complete sense to me.
Ooh, Inner Circle really suffering here. Reject have great angles towards them. They're just getting knocked and re-knocked repeatedly. And they're chasing for that third place bubble, Blank. I mean, look at the score lines right now. You got third place at 97. They're on 91 right now. They earned 5 points right at the start of the match. They were feeling themselves, but they're really crunched in here. It is nasty on that western side. A lot of teams very, very close by to one another. A little bit more free and easy on that eastern side, but still no walk in the park. The circle keeps that crunch in the middle too, and Reject are going to further commit down towards that area. As players starting to fall out now, recalls become almost impossible for most of our teams at this stage. APG wanting to get Zol back up. They are staying completely together here, but Gen G going to try and split them up. Quick, up onto the tree. Dammy on the high ground. A lovely nade comes through from Reefus. It finds him around the trunk of the tree. There is a trade still, and Zol is flushed. But can there be retribution? Can APG find their feet here and stay up in that first place spot? Because Satan's already found Doc. Wolves might chime in as well. Look at that flex out.
Slightly whiff nade there coming through from Reefus. Reject with Regiocio will pick up one of those elims. Looks like Alpha Gaming is more than likely to go down here on the outside edge on the south side. Again, you're just trying to make sure this game is as stagnant as possible. And for teams that really want to climb up, they're likely looking for a central position anyway. So you are just gifting points across the teams that aren't really all that influential on the lobby. And the Wolves currently on 79 points, but these eliminations are getting passed around very equally right now. It's a much slower Rondo than what we're used to. But again, I think at an international lobby, this makes a lot of sense. And I wouldn't be surprised seeing this type of meta start to develop in personal regions, right? You know, where on that final day, Rondo's a lot quieter because you don't want to be giving away those massive chicken dinner games.
I mean, yeah, we saw yesterday as well a lot of big starts and then not going too much further. There were a lot of 8-9 elimination teams that were down early into the game, right? That were completely flushed out. And seems like this time around, as you say, it's kind of level pegging for a lot of these teams. APG, the major profiteers right now on this game with 6 elims, but that will be changing as teams continue to move on forwards. Inner Circle have managed to patch themselves back up, Flank. In the meantime, whilst all of that chaos unfolded on the south side circle, they've patched themselves up to 3 players alive. They've got control of their building. Reject flexed a little bit further away, and now they're regrouping out, which has alleviated some of that pressure. In the meantime, though, Alter Ego fighting for the podium spot with D+, Blank.
Yeah, who have now passed GOAT as well. Third place for D+. Now looking to go a little bit further. Norbu with nade outside. A lot of damage over towards Krypton. Goes extremely low. Snape looks to cut the corner, but it's not meant to be, as Norbu will make the big run out. Finds 2, but loops are coming.
They're right over the hill, and they will ride straight into the fight here, Blank. D+ now Gonna have a tough time defending on two fronts, but with just Snape remaining, they may have handled Alter Ego fast enough. He will be a fly in the ointment to the hold against Loops. And that's the shot that they were looking for, the opener towards D+. Snape will fall, so Alter Ego in second place will go down. D+, 1 point behind them now. In just one elimination, they could draw neck and neck. We'll see if they're able to do it. Loops may be the team to deliver them that point that they need. They're very isolated from everybody else on this northern side.
Osal will bleed out there. So it's a 2v4. Chips got a huge amount of work done yesterday. Now looking to go even further for D+ and secure that position in second place. It's been a big rise from D+ over the last few days. In the meantime, Wolves are looking a little bit slicker today, though I will wait and see, because anything can happen with that team. We've seen them go from strength to very low lows. For the Wolves, not convinced yet.
Ooh, a couple of shots going on through. Look at that picture-in-picture. Wolves having a tough time against Team Secret. Okay, that's not the team I thought I would be saying there in that sentence. But they've still got a Wolf on the prowl on that picture-in-picture. I'm taking a look at it. Looks like they will be able to do so much work on the top side. They take down Team Secret, but in come OG on that fight. The Wolves are flushed away. In the meantime, we're back on board now with the main picture here with Luke. And they are still going head-to-head, toe-to-toe, blow for blow with D+, as the nade pushes Fabian out the back. Chips is still on the inside. Ratto Boy looks for the challenge, but he will not be able to find it. Step into the blue too long. He's going to go down. The point that they need is right there. Will he step out? Will he get too bold with it? No, but he's going to launch them over the top. Blank. They're up into second place over Alter Ego. Can they keep it going?
I mean, this is incredible. The fact that these two players make it happen. Fabian has been in the scene for a very long time, and he knows how to keep his nerve here. Luke's final player up the stairs. Chips looking to finish him off. We'll just have to ascend this one. No, he's in the corner. I will get it done. A 2v4 from D+ to secure second place is insane.
How much further can they go? There's not too many people on this northern side. They don't have the meds. I'd be surprised if they even make it out of this blue zone, Blank. I feel like for Chips, he's just trying to find a first aid right now to heal himself in, because there is a long way to go. There's about 200 to 300 meters to dash across, and that's if he makes a beeline with no caution thrown towards cover. This is nasty for D+, but they've got 9 elims already, Blank. And this, as you said before, is a great result to get up into second place, away from GOAT, away from Inner Circle. Inner Circle quite likely to go a lot further, though, so it could still be a worry.
Jammer backpack, pick it up, put it on. Right now, thank you.
Oh,
okay,
that's not going to last too long, though.
That's a clutch Jammer backpack.
For sure.
I love it when you go for the first aid kit. He's like, wait. That's actually going to save. That's fine. That's good. Okay, so Gemma Pack will get D+ even further into this match. All right, I love to see it. Apparently, we saw a cover flare not come through, which I can only imagine came from around this area. Not sure if it was from OG or the Wolves or Team Secret, but either way, cool to see. In an international tournament, someone getting crushed by the mighty Dorito. For OG, they cleared out rejects. It's good, right? You know, 13th place, but 7 elims at the start of the day here is very, very nice for OG. It looks better. I think the most concerning thing is that Wolves were losing the fight to Team Secret. And I think it's fair to say that Team Secret has the worst firepower in the lobby right now. So that is definitely concerning for Wolves. They did hold a stronger position than them, and they were pushing into, but since everyone else that Team Secret has played against they've just fallen over. It is concerning for Wolves.
It's not ideal. They did get a couple of points on this match. They did get 7 elims, Blank, so it's not all doom and gloom for them, but they did want to stay stronger into that fight. With OG rolling in, though, I mean, it's a pretty tough task. OG isolated on the outside. A team that is definitely not isolated on the outside, though, is Papra Supermassive, but we have to talk about them in a minute, because GOAT are crashing onto Narvalo, and this is basically an even match. He's got a building to play around, Blank. We'll see if they're able to do it this time around, see if they can get rid of him. He's locked in, but it's going to be the assist coming on from his enemy team. His opponents are doing the work for him. They step in, and this guy just can't be taken out of the building. You just can't do it. From across the way, Papra Supermassive have to get a little bit naughty, but that was floundering on the approach coming through from GOAT.
Oh, I guess he wants to get the elims, but it's so greedy. Are you seeing the team pushing onto you, getting blasted? Like you miss out on a placement point from the back of that as well. So yeah, it's a bit annoying. I think he realized that moment in time. I think he just thought to himself, you know what? I'm just going to try and get some elims. Sick of playing as a solo for my own squad. I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory. For 9ZG, this is a very important game. It's 10th place in the lobby. 69 points right now. If they can get themselves a little bit further, get towards the middle of the pack, they do separate themselves away from some of the others chasing. That includes Loops, who are in a lot of danger right now, especially versus OG, who look to move themselves out from the bottom 5.
That is the name of the game. They're stretching out towards the north. Maxman in our chat is highlighting as well that cover flares here are going to be really important given the flatness of this terrain. He's going to be looking out for any more, well, first of all, any more emergency flare knocks, but also using that cover effectively. So I'm sure we'll get the Maxman breakdown of the D4s littering the battlefield over on the analyst desk, but it has to happen first. That's what we're here for. Goat's trying to go for another crash, another roll up to the pagoda, out in the open. And I see, not able to control that, not quite finding the spray down with IQ on that rooftop.
Yeah, I mean, you would have hoped for a little bit more damage there coming through from Inner Circle, but the fact that they've got themselves up towards the top 6 is already quite useful. I think the main two teams to look at here is Go as well as Inner Circle, both chasing for that second and third spot, and it's really not that much of a stretch that they need to go. They might even just find it off the back of placement points here, but this is a fearsome fight between DK, El Alter Ego, Go, and Inner Circle for the top 3.
Absolutely is, although at the moment, Blank, it shouldn't be on their minds about getting into the top 3 now. It should be about maximizing point gain in this match, right? It's great that you can get into top 3, but if you're making a play like, oh, let's just get a couple of points so that we can be in top 3, sure, it's a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling, but you might have given up the opportunity to get 7, 8, 9 points on the game, where that would be a lot more comfortable moving into the future. A hard northwest shift does assist both of these teams, but unfortunately, Papra Supermassive have started to play the game here, Blank, and now just one player left on Inner Circle.
I think Papra Supermassive have done a great job to sustain in this match. Lost will take down Falak. The big man from the squad in the circle now just down to 1 in T24, who has been fantastic when it comes to the shots, but it's not enough versus 4 teams. I think for Inner Circle, for them, they're trying to get up towards the top side of the lobby. Sadly, though, that position was very rough to play versus Papra Supermassive, and they were trying to get shots wherever they could. For GOAT, this is an extremely tough cross, but getting one of their players in Twix down towards the south side is miraculous and also fantastic timing from them, right? They pulled out the stopwatch, clicked it as soon as they heard the fighting happening over on that west side, and sent Twix out. So that anchor is really important. Good shots there from Killer Joe.
Oh, able to do so much damage to OG on the approach in a time where they need the points as much as they can get. 7 elims already on the game, Blank. Again, it's not all doom and gloom, but in the bottom 5, it's still really, really uncomfortable. GS also fighting to get out of that bottom 5 spot. They are now 1 point behind Loops. They're guaranteed to get up over Loops this game with the placement points that they're already guaranteed. The question is how far? And nades coming through from OG, making it a little bit harder.
It's so cool seeing a lot of the top teams fighting out for this one, but then again, a lot of the bottom teams with 9Z, who are in a bit of a struggle bus at the start of the day. GS and OG both looking to make it happen. Both teams who have seen improvement over the stage of Group Green. I think GOAT may be done for in the near future, though. They'd have to find a knock over towards 9Z if they wanted to hope in hell of getting out there. But at least getting Twix towards the central position does guarantee them at least like a top 4 here.
I mean, it's on smokes and cover flares. Like, they might be waiting for other teams to move and covering off Twix's angle, right? I think, are they just in this circle? I think they still have just a tiny sliver of it. Papra Supermassive actually take a knock from GOAT. So there's the maybe opener that they were looking for, but it's still so flat against 9ZG. Their approach, as you said, is fraught with danger. I have to try and find something. In the meantime, OG holding the south as well.
for Go, the only option here is to wait for the circle to crunch 9Z in, and during that time where it gets a little bit messy for 9Z, where they have to move and back off angles, that's where the rest of Go can start to move. But they're gonna send out some craters, but they need themselves.
Yeah, that's not going to work out for Go. Oh dear. With the placement points they've got already, though, Blank, they are in the top 3.
Yeah, they tried to pull it in a circle there. Sadly, a little bit of a bounce off the wall kind of ruins their whole day. That's a bit sad. But again, I still think it's a top 4 with Twix involved. GS trying to get around the side, but it's a nasty nade from Maru. Goes over towards Icon, will take him out. And now ESO looks to find these shots through the window.
Maru steps out wide.
Patient,
is good. A really, really nice rotation there, getting through. Loving the ghillie suit on Rondo, by the way. Don't see too much of it. The blossoms looking pretty for Aru. Almost as pretty as his peaks there. 9 elims now and a 4th place guarantee. This is the game that OG needed to jet out of the bottom 5 Blank. They want to keep climbing. They want to go as far as possible. Again, it's nice not to be there now, but it's about getting as many points under the belt as humanly possible to set yourself up for safety later on. Because with only 6 matches, including the conclusion of this one to go, it's got to feel good that you're into the top 3. Maybe a 2nd place on the cards if Papa Supermassive can hold it out against 9ZG.
Yeah, I think for OG it's been really nice, and so far a lot of these pieces they're going for are covered off by their teammates, and it's looking a lot cleaner on their approach towards these engagements. They're not trying to take fights that they know they're not comfortable in, and they're still keeping up that great macro that we know that they have. It is sad where this is almost an impossible location to push out from, but what I am glad about is that they tried to make a move. A lot of times in the past, I think OG would have just sat there and waited for the blue to envelop, but they actually went for something, and that's promising to me.
I mean, they saw those flares drop. They knew attention might be distracted, might be a little bit split. That was as good a time as any, but unfortunately did not go their way. Papra Supermassive, they've held this building for so long. 9ZG have been on the outside, but 9ZG are giving it a damn good go here. Nico is knocked. Lost was taken down earlier. Nico on the off angle, very unlikely to be resable there. Kamikaze feels the bounce of a nade of one of the tetrahedra littering the battlefield, and another nade for 9ZG. This is again another campaign to get away from the bottom 5 spots, and that is a brilliant conclusion for 9ZG. Papra Supermassive get a decent chunk of points as well, but they could not leave their compound. They held it strong, but they just weren't allowed out the front door.
I mean, for 9Z, this is a big game for them. They needed it from where they were in the tables. That's more of a survival win for this team than anything. For Papra Supermassive, though, it does send them a little bit further up towards the top of the tables. For OG, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more respectful of some of the teams in the lobby as well. But overall, some promising moments, I would say, from that squad. I'm not going to say too much right now because I'd need to see more out of that team today if they're going to make it out from that bottom 11. But the journey has begun. The journey has begun.
Absolutely. Some very important matches coming through on the Rondo, and that's what we wanted to see. There was no team Blank that got 0 eliminations. Everybody got at least 1, and that's what you want from a Rondo, right? It's pure entertainment value. Getting stuck in with those eliminations. Brilliant stuff. But 9ZG, they close us down for the first chicken dinner.
And 9Z get the chicken dinner off the rip today. Man, this has to feel like such a relief for the squad. They were in 3rd place after day 1, and in day 2 just couldn't get it done. So to finally make it happen here in the final hour is just so huge for this team, Victor.
It really is. I love how they played this. Very careful, very consistent across the game. I love in particular how they, like, in maybe phase 4, I think it was, they saw there was a compound in the middle of circle that was open, and you can see just the beeline of rotation going straight to that position and holding it. It's so decisive from them. It shows that they're really thinking about it, they're being proactive, and it's what got them the win in the end, Max.
I mean, there were barely any compound freedom, and when you spot one that is available, just like beeline for it, just like yoink, mine for the rest of the game. And you know what? It works out great for 90 Globe. And actually, we do have to say, Nitro, by the way, looking at the stats, great stuff from Milos. He popped off this game, 5 elims, over 500 damage. He was on fire this match. But 90 was slipping ever since the first 2 strong games on day 1 for Group 3. They've been invisible. We haven't really seen much presence from 90 Globe here from Americas, and it's good to see a little bit of a redemption game here because they were in 8th position in Tura, meaning a few more bad games, they would be in the bottom 5, which of course would send you home. So good to see a little bit of a redemption arc here on this Rondo game.
Yeah, it's really nice to see that they recognize that this game was so important because you are going to have those teams that are slightly below you on that cusp of the bottom 5 or even the bottom 5. Those teams as well are really going to be trying to step up and try and take as many elims as possible. So it's nice for them that they recognize that and went, hey, actually we have to have a really good, strong game here because otherwise we are going to fall behind. We don't want to repeat of day 2.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's so much to talk about with this match. This Rondo felt completely different from the first 2 in my mind. At least I don't know what you guys think about that one. It started off with Alpha Gaming, though, right? Instead of normally dropping all their players in Yulin, they sent 2 to test track. What do you think about that, Max?
I was just seeing someone again get shot while parachuting down. It's been happening a lot on Rondo. I don't know what they did about the trend. But no, this hot drop between the certain Pakistani team I shall not name. Then you have APG, you have Team Secret, you have Falcons. It's hectic. It's all over the place. I love it. More of that, please. Absolute mayhem on the battleground stage for Rondo. But it was cool that we saw, especially for that certain team going for a little bit of a backup plan, which is, you know, going for the recalls up northwest. The way it didn't work out for them yesterday, Nick. This time around, they had a game plan, and you know what? They got very far in this game. You love to see it.
Yeah, and I really like here we see that crash. It's such a difficult building, such no, it wasn't. Yeah. But I will say I'm impressed how long they survived there, right? Because it's such a hard position to hold. Teams are surrounding you. They did get helped a little bit by that zone because that meant no one was going to push them. They were too busy worrying about their own thing. But OG there, I want to say very quickly, what a third party coming in for them. I loved this, and then they were able to hold out. Oh, wait, the triple.
I didn't see that.
I did not see that.
Whoa. What are those nades, man, coming out from Orangutan? Sorry, I have to jump in there. That's respect on the utility game. And we were saying it, right? Hot Tricks Niptura. This is by far, in my opinion, even though it's not a win, this was the best game from India. This was the best game from Orangutan. And finally, giving respect that's deserved back to the lobby. They've not been too aggressive, going for these weird splits. No, they bunkered down. They hold positions together, Niptura. The timing was on point. Is there hope for Orangutan today? Because if we see this kind of gameplay for these next 5 matches, OG, this could be a great, great day.
Absolutely. I love how they played this. They played how I was thinking they were going to play, right? They timed the third party onto Wolves and Team Secret really, really well. Then Rejects did a really good push. They tried to threaten that position as well. And OG said, absolutely not. This is ours now. And the quick flip that they were able to do from that third party to defense was really, really nice. And then using other teams' fight to actually use it as a distraction to push up themselves. Love what they did with that. So I'm really, really hopeful for the next game.
Oh, man, I'm so stoked for this one as well. Milos getting that 5 eliminations. This man popped off this match. And I'm telling you, OG could not have done that game at a better time, right? Loops, remember, they were that cutoff team. They had 61 points. In this match, they only got 3. So OG are for sure going to be jumping up the leaderboards, right? GS had a good game, though, as well. So it's still going to be a fight at the bottom pretty much all day long here in my eyes, Max.
Yeah, it's just going to be, they're going to cannibalize each other, just like, we want to the bottom 5, please. Actually, they're not even able to make it happen just yet. They're still going to be down there in 13th position. They were in 13th position before this game, but that gap has closed, Niptura. You're 6 points away from possibly being in that middle pack here to go for the last chance. Top 3 out of the question. Last chance, that is your goal, that is your objective here. And Orangutan, 6 more points, which is doable with the way they were playing this match on Rondo. we need to just see a bit of a follow-up after that great game.
No, we absolutely do, but I just want to point out very quickly, we saw DK say, hey, we're going to be top 3 at the end of the day. They're top 3 game 1. They're in second place. They pushed Alter Ego down. Go still hold on to their third, but D plus Kia looking good for finals. If they can just hold on for 5 more games, they will have done what they set out to do.
Yeah. I like how Go Team are the immovable object in this one. Just D plus jumping 2 ranks. Alter Ego dropping 2 ranks. They're not budging from that third position right now. And Twix actually, I want to highlight Twix real quick. This guy was just sent as like the rabid dog of this team. Is just like, you go forward and you just nade everyone. He's like, got you. He's like John Wick in this lobby, and he's getting insanely accurate nades on Papara Supermassive Blaze in particular. This guy was on fire, and you know what? I do wonder if they can maintain a position in the big 3 today, Hodges.
Yeah, you know what? As long as you don't, knock your team by shooting your own vehicles, stuff like that, we can gotta get that stuff fixed. I think for sure we're gonna see them continue at the top. I mean, Goat have been crushing it here so far. They gotta watch out though. I mean, you got D plus now entering the fray. Alter Ego are gonna step up here when it comes to Arigale, so a huge threat at the top. I do want to talk a little bit more about the bottom, right? In my eyes, Neptura, looking at those leaderboards, I think this is it for Tiamba and Reject. I think if they don't win a game right here, they're not going to make it. Do you think that's correct?
Sadly, I have to agree. I have to agree. Very sadly, with a heavy heart, because Tiamba, we've seen them do so well before. Rejects, I love this team so much. I've followed them for years, but it's just not looking particularly good. We saw a little bit of more what we expected from Rejects in that rondo, right? In that last game before their altercation with OG went so terribly bad with the triple nade and all of that. But they were in the top 6, top 7 as a full squad. That's better. That's an improvement from yesterday. So, Max, if we can just see that maybe a little bit more, maybe they can scrape into the top 11. I don't know, though.
Rejects were like, wait, Orangutan are playing good this game? But I think any team in the bottom 5 can still make it, except for Team Secret. I think Team Secret have kind of given up. We're not seeing that glim of hope, right, that we saw back in PMWC in Riyadh. Just not quite on that same caliber of gameplay. So Reject, Tiamba, Orangutan, Loops for me can still make it up there. And then looking at the teams above that threshold, right, Jukes? GS, Falcons, Wolves, Genji, even 90 Globin. I feel like they can still fall down in that bottom 5. So it's still really close. I think it is going to be down for the bottom 5, at least down for that final match where it's going to really decide the fate of these teams.
Well, let's go ahead and take it on over to 7WG with an interview with Goat.
Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG, and I'm joined by none other than Go Team Killer Joe. Honestly, this was a good start for the squad in Rondo, your best performing Rondo so far in Group Green. How important was that for your team?
Obviously, it's important to get 8 points, not 0. For us, it was our best Rondo in this tournament. Hard zone, very hard zone, but we got our points and all.
Well, I'm hoping it's going to continue like this because you guys have been performing quite well. What was the difference between day 1 and day 2 for your squad? Because day 2 you popped off.
Day 2, we will continue day 2, I think, yes, to get more points.
All right, well, hey, I'm hoping that's going to happen. Best of luck. Back to you guys.
Hey, we heard it from Killer Joe himself. He was talking about, right, how this was a tough zone. Honestly, that whole map was crazy different, right? I think we're definitely seeing teams just realize that, hey, we need 20-point games, right? Just some eliminations ain't gonna cut it. So at least from what I noticed, Neptura, squads were quick, right? So rather than focus on engagement, get those dominant positions as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, right. We made note of it. It was like, hey, this round was actually a lot quieter than the first 2 days, and that's exactly why. It's just these teams are hunkering down. They're getting serious now. They're realizing the potential that Rondo has to make points, and rather than focusing all those points on eliminations, they're like, hey, listen, we can hot up a little bit. We can kind of be a little bit aggressive in the early game, but the focus really is on that end game, focusing on getting those positions instead, Max.
It was not an easy Rondo game. Like, really, everyone was trying to use those emergency cover flares to just survive in this game, right? Get onto a wrangle. You don't have emergency cover flares? PUBG Mobile Esport, maybe? That could be a great addition, but I'm very excited for the grass and pastures here, Hodrix. It's going to be intense to see who's going to be looking to climb even higher in those rankings.
Well, I know two teams for sure. I think it's do or die for Tianba and Reject. Let's go ahead and head on to Erangel and see if they can get it done. John, Blank, do you think that they can?
Hey, you know, anything's possible. Why not? Give it a good go, give it your best. That's what you're here for at the PMGC. Plenty of teams will try and stop you, get in your way, tackle you to the ground and drag you down with them. You gotta rise above. That's what it's all about here. Milton up towards Zaki on the plane path. A little bit difficult to get over towards Primorsk here, Blank, but those vehicles should be fairly accessible.
By the way, John, the correct answer was no. So, yes, that's for reference. I think it's all good being optimistic, and I think it's less good, you know, for a team who has got no chance and tell them that they can get in. I think that there's a possibility of potentially getting out into the last chance, but even then it's going to require some insane games for that to happen.
Yeah, that's. I think that's fair. Right? I think that's definitely starting to get a little bit long in the day for getting all the way up there. We'll have to wait and see if. I mean, miracles can happen. It really can, but it's just not what you expect. On the north side there, I'm looking over and seeing quite a few teams potentially dropping towards North George. With Inner Circle, maybe, yeah, look at a redivert back up towards Zaki. But Blank, it looks like we're on for a military circle here. Get across as fast as you can. High priority, I'm assuming, is going to be put on towards that observatory position, the bridge camp's potential, over towards Novo access. Maybe we'll see some rotations of the gliders coming on through as well. Grab those hovercrafts.
I wanted to see it yesterday. I wanted to see it yesterday, getting it first game of the first article. Yeah, that's good. That's fun. That's fun to see. I think it's absolutely brutal for so many squads, though. It's the type of thing where it's like, oh, on an outside chance to get a lot of points. Who's the team that benefits from this the most? Alpha Gaming. They're already in bloody #1 spot. They don't need any more points. This is very frustrating. For Reject, potentially they're able to get across the wall quickly, play towards the houses on the beachhead, play those compounds there. But again, it's tough. A lot of the teams that are going to benefit from this are already in a strong position. And funnily enough, it's the two teams we highlighted before, in Tianba as well as Reject, who are around south of Milton and south of Bomb. So, you know what? Maybe last chance is on the cards. Maybe it is. Maybe I was wrong.
Give it a good go. Let's go. Come on. You can do it still. 21 points. Ooh. Bit nasty. The question is, how fast do they move, right? Because Falcons, they are moving very quick right now, but they are in one vehicle, Blank, and I always hate to see that, especially when they're going to be rolling past Goat. It is going to be a difficult bridge crossing for them. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do it here. Depends how close Goats stop. They might try and go further on into the island, and I wouldn't be too surprised at that. They know that there's going to be so much fighting around that bridge. They can play a little bit deeper in and wait to pick up the pieces from it. They're playing the longer game here, and in a third-place spot, that's what you want to be looking for. Unfortunately, though, for them, Alter Ego have already managed to find first blood. Captain Supermassive losing one of their players over towards Melter Power on the east side.
I'll tell you, one thing that D+ is very good at is getting to weird zones very quickly and then holding them from there onwards. Loose is in their way and they will be passing through side by side. It is a weird situation where for Loops as well as D+, there is a consideration to be made here where as you're rotating, you see another team and you just don't take shots. You prioritize getting into the circle and finding position. I think that's actually the smarter move to take in an international. I think D+ and Loops are both committed to that.
That's a little roll up there, as we saw from Falcons. They're still in their one vehicle, Blank. The thing I didn't take into account, though, to be fair, is that Goat will not have had time to loot that much, right? So they're not going to be super prepared to go for that hold. It's not like you're coming in a minute, in 2 minutes' time. Fair enough. So maybe the one vehicle rotate was necessary to just get them across, and they'll be able to grab a couple more vehicles, especially after taking down a player from Goat who was lagging behind a little bit. And they'll be onto the south side. So as much as I hate to see it, I feel that maybe the one vehicle rotate could have been the right call in that exact, very specific scenario, and no others ever. So Purple Supermassive, though, after taking the fight in Milford, going for a swim, taking a dip, got their swimming trunks on.
Yeah, that's it. That's a long swim as well. And the Tiamba holding Novo, I mean, that was a pretty obvious hold as well. Oh my god. Doran with the iron sights at that range is something else.
That is pretty special, for sure. You just always love to see it. You love being surprised like that. Every single time, even though you kind of expect it from teams at this caliber, it's always pretty on the screen. Wolves moving in, trying to hunt down claws. He's hiding behind the rocks. Having a good time by the ocean. Actually, he's not having a good time. He's having a pretty terrible time, but might be a little bit safer than he once was, because all four of the wolves are here, and they are playing hide and seek. It's sardines right now, and Claws desperately doesn't want to be found. Because we have a little replay as well. This was when Hyper Supermassive lost their player. Claws with the fight around the corner. Yeah, no, it's never happening. Not in a million years.
I appreciate the restraint from Papa Supermassive there. It was like, I want to slam the desk. I'm not going to slam the desk. Fair play to him. But yeah, that's rough. Definitely rough. Definitely a classic, though, from D+. Getting towards the zone nice and easy. I think I respect Loops and D+ a lot more for that push. I think you might have seen... You might have seen it in a regional tournament, you know, the Loops stopped short on trying to hold out D+, but I think in international, it's a very smart maneuver from both those teams. Just shake hands and be like, well, you know, we could either make this very difficult on both of us, or we both just look for separate areas to go. And even D+ respected it. They saw that Loops wrapped down towards the south side, so they thought, oh, we'll wrap over towards the north. In those few scenarios, it is sometimes nice to, you know, make a friend on your journeys.
Subscription. No friendly attic for Goat, though, as they have more of Falcons to deal with. Oof, Fallow. Give me a scare there. Redox goes down on the first peak, and with two pump actions, not peaking at the same time, did not quite work out for them, but they'll be able to get that res. And another player for Goat falls. This is all good news for Alter Ego. I wonder what vehicles they're in right now, Blank, because they are all the way over towards Mill the Power still. Hopefully they've got a hovercraft at best, maybe a boat at second best. Could it be a glider time yet again? As teams are starting to compound now onto the military island, DK are taking that northern side, that north and eastern side rather of the military base itself, moving up into the hills. Observatory is found by Loops, and Tiamba are in the foothills over towards Nova.
And there is one boat there for Alter Ego, which could take the entirety of Alter Ego across. Why a few of these locations are cut out, though? I think for Alter Ego, it's likely going to be a heavy, wide swing towards the west of the island. But decent sprays from Coots. Decent sprays from Coots is in the circle across the middle. But again, I think for Alter Ego, I don't think they'll know to make this wide swing to the western side. I think they'd imagine that a lot of the west here is taken up by players. I didn't mention it very much there, but I am very surprised that Inner Circle just like fly past the wolves.
I was thinking that the whole time.
Yeah.
It's got a knock though. Inner Circle do lose one, but yeah, you're right. How Wolves let that happen? They overcommit maybe to finding that solo.
Wolves though, you're just like, well, now our life's a little bit more difficult. There's a lot of teams down here. Now we're kind of the last to enter.
Yeah. Actually, they didn't even get the flush onto the Inner Circle player. That was picked up and put in a vehicle very quickly. I thought that was knocked on the bridge, but it seemed like it was a little bit safer than I thought.
Yeah, basically horrendous for Wolves, honestly.
Why have they done that? Coots, why would they do that?
Why would you do this, Coots?
Oh, good.
Alpha Gaming, though, I think I'm a little less impressed. Losing a player to D+ that early is a little bit sad, especially being the team that plays South Africa as well. Alpha Gaming, they're now down to just 3 players. I think Reefus is actually a pretty critical component of the team as well, in terms of finding those picks. I think he does enable the team to be so successful at times. I did about 4 more C's in that successful win if necessary as well.
Ulterigo, taking a leaf out of the Alpha 7 playbook. Take it to the skies. And, I mean, on the east side, it kind of looked a little bit occupied, but it was Papa Supermassive who they scrapped with earlier, right? And they're very, very split. The landing actually fairly smooth, but Rosemary, I mean, he's taken damage from somewhere. I think that might be in the blue zone earlier on, but has 5 bandages, a stim picking him up as well.
Did you miss Alva just falling out the plane?
I think I did, actually. Blank, I was looking at the map feeds. That happened? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's really, really bad. Rosemary, what are you doing? Figure it out.
Well, I don't think it's Rosemary's fault. I think that Alva just ejected in some failed James Bond movie. So, not really sure what he did there. That should... So it doesn't take any damage at all. Oh. It doesn't matter. The M349 will do the trick. So, a pretty unfortunate entry, which looked so smooth, right?
Yeah, they sort of stumbled repeatedly on several hurdles. I missed Alva falling out the plane. I definitely will need to get a replay on that, because that sounds like comedy gold. But Papa Supermassive able to find players back on it. Okay, there we go.
Shot.
Maybe he got knocked out of the plane here by Kamikaze. Okay.
He did.
That's so much more fair.
Well, he did get ejected, but he didn't press the button. Ow! That's a painful circle for a lot of squads. Heads back up towards the North Island. Oh my days! No, Orangutan. No, you do want to play on the south side. You do want to play on the south side, please, OG.
Oh no!
OG, please.
This is the reject game, though, Blank. It's now or never, right? They need it. At this very moment, Team Secret completely out of it. They're in the blue zone somewhere. I don't even know where they are right now. I believe they dropped up towards Georgopol, so probably still yet to come in from the blue zone. Everybody now crunching in onto these hills. You can see Reject regrouping, but keeping a 2-2 split here. Maybe looking to further regroup and leaving some out toward a little bit close to the coastline. No, they are further inland and playing the buildings. Tiamba as well on that east side, having a good time. OG, listen to your pleas, Blank. And they do send down south over that bridge. They are not going to be playing across the water. As tempting as it might be, it's not going to be.
But yeah, they were going to play Sharkfin, which very much an outside chance and survival. But I imagine Ara is just like, look, we're done with that type of play style. All right, we're done with playing on the outside of the zone. Let's try and get something here. I mean, they're so close to breaking out into last chance. I'm so glad that they turned around. No matter what happens to them now, I respect the decision.
Go with 2 players and they got remaining bending off against GS around the corner. No shots found for GS. The door frame lit up there on the corner, but there will finally be a knock found. Unfortunately, though, there's no one else to try and jump on in. This should be reservoir here for Bella Joe as he spots Jafar out in the buggy, out in the open. He gets the spray down. Beautiful stuff. His goat now up to 3 elims. They are desperately defending that 3rd place spot, and now trying to stop Ulterigo from getting on in, because they've only got Krypton, I believe. Oh, Snape is still alive as well on that southeast side, but just no HP to be seen.
Tiamba and Reject, 2 teams that sort of don't really want to fight one another right now. Both have holograms as well. It's a very similar strategy seen from both the squads here. Yeah, really nasty circle for everyone involved. Cuts out so much landmass. I think it's one of the few times where there is actually less playable area on the map than unplayable. It's so tough on this one.
That's where they are.
Where are they?
This is west side of Sosnovka.
Yeah, so they must be... They're very far away.
They're gonna die. They're gonna die in the blue.
There's a lot of distance to go there for Team Secret. Somewhat confusing.
It's not like you can exactly stop off and heal for a second, is it? In the glider.
No. Okay, I mean, for Reject, honestly, that rotate from farm down towards the south side to play those buildings, like I said, on the beachhead, works out fantastically well for them. I just want to see a little bit of a regroup here and then hold those angles, because this is a perfect way to finish out your game. I'm sorry, Reject, I should have never doubted you. That's my bad.
They are really holding this one out. Gen G now eliminated. So another team quite close to that boundary. I say quite close. They are at 83 points and 11th place is 66. But with GS going down, that's good news for Loops, for OG, to try and keep this one going. And on an outside chance for Reject. They've got Hovercraft as well, Blank. So it's a nice tanky cover that they can maneuver around wherever they see fit. And a lot of teams are just trying to send over their way. Alter Ego, the last player standing, trying to chase on down. 9Z clashing with Papra Supermassive on the outside, and they have got nothing in the face of Papra Supermassive. Nico's not there, but they don't need him. They got all the other boys, and now Reject want a piece of this. Reiji scouting out Divine nades over the top. If they can win this out, this is a huge pickup to be able to clear so much territory, but they're falling back. They don't want to overexpose.
Yeah, I don't really think you can say Papra Supermassive really clashed with 9Z there. They look more like my pizza from last night as they sliced them halfway 8 times. That was bad. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Alter Ego though, nice little Molotov. Unfortunately, Crypto on this, there's no HP to speak with. Less than 5% here. He is struggling. The Wolves, though, still continuing here. I mean, they've definitely been persistent in their journey. The more I watch Wolves, the more I think to myself that they're a team that makes mistakes. And that is the problem, you know. I think they're a good team, but there's a lot of mistakes that are made during the play. I think if they can shore up some of those holes in the ship, then it'd be fine. It'd be a really, really strong squad, but there's just these moments where it's carelessness that really comes back to bite them. But they've been playing much better today. So I'll say that now.
Here's God, challenge, and Bond is able to win that out. That's the last player now standing for OG. They've tried to approach from this east side, but Tiamba were on the hold. It looks like they were doing pretty well. They're not going to be pushed through either. D+ actually moving immediately ahead of this one. You said they get these weird rotates sometimes. This is a brilliant heads-up decision made by D+ Kia here to actually get ahead of Tiamba whilst they're in that fight. Alter Ego eliminated as well. That is a little bit of relief for GOAT, but still got Papra Supermassive and Inner Circle to worry about chasing them down.
In my mind, there's a world where D+ is first place at the end of this. I'm not even joking at this point in time, okay? I'm not even joking. I do feel like it's coming. It's so weird with the South Korean squads, because I think day one is always terrible. Day one is always terrible with the South Korean squads. And they're like, we get it. I think we understand the circle. And then suddenly they start playing out of their minds. It's just so strange to me that day one's always just like a bit more of an observer day for them.
Oh, well, we'll see what they can do. Moving into Wolves, having a little bit of a clash. The perpetually 6th place team, it seems, like you said, they do make those mistakes and need to step it up. We'll see if they can do that against Papra Supermassive. A little wider wrap around the edge, and that is the go signal immediately. Stepping forwards with Papra Supermassive down in 10th place. A lot of damage, though, sent back over towards the Wolves. That's coming through from Inner Circle. Defending 6th place from them. Not even allowed up to there.
I think for Wolves, that losing one player is not too bad, but it's a fairly clean fight between them and Papra Supermassive. Very nice. The Coops is doing his absolute best to make this work. The one thing that worries me about the Wolves is that there looks to be a little bit of contention in the team at the moment, especially when you watch them on the stage. There is a back and forth. Though I do prefer for teams to be open. Especially North American teams, they can be very loud, but you know, when everything's said and done, they are still very friendly with one another. But if you want to make it towards the end, you've got to let your opinions be known here. The only thing that I'm kind of concerned about there is that you know, you're fostering a little bit of this not so favourable attitude in the team. So for the Wolves, I hope they can keep their heads clear today, because there is the possibility for them. They really, they just need one big game. That's all they need, and then they're in the running.
Tiamba trying to move forwards. D+ not allowing them that opportunity. D+ keeping things going. I mean, a little bit of revitalization. That first day, not great, but day 2, a lot better for them. It looks really cool on the stage as well, but calm. Even when they were finding those chicken dinners, and now they're trying to convert. It seems like On the north side, they have a very solid chance. Ocel's not out in the water there on that position, don't worry. The minimap just a little bit offset. He is on dry land. He's got dry boots for the time being. So I feel like, for me, it is still Reject that I'm looking at here. If they can jump up, and maybe as a second storyline for Falcons, if they were going to be able to actually do more than stay alive with a solo and rely on Narval for points.
Yeah, I mean, that's not great, is it? You know, having to basically send out Narval like some kind of Pokemon in the end game. Narval like shoots you.
Max idea of Pokemon was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, that's his special move, right? That's what he gets, 6 points.
Narval used the 6 points. It was super effective. Loops. They are trying to find the shots and seemingly getting through, but not unscathed. Finding the crash successfully onto this corner. Gold now down to one player alive. Third place in his hands, although it's a bit safer for now. As we hop back over to this east side, D+ moving in with a solidly timed rotate, still ahead of Tiamba, but Chips has spotted that's Loops from the south, actually opening the door for Tiamba to maybe to skirt around the edge.
Some tough shots for top right now, extremely long distance, but definitely making life hard for Tiamba on the very outer edge of the map. This could easily be a Wolves win. It could easily be a Reject win. Playing around this hilltop here, you can get a lot done for the Wolves. I think the unfortunate thing for them is that they're playing as 3, which makes this a lot more difficult. But I've seen a 3-man win from this spot in the past. It is possible, but you have to be everywhere all at once. And that wasn't on an international stage either. So we'll see how Wolves do when we play this one out. Still 9 teams remaining and almost 22 minutes into the match. It's all these undulating hilltops which allow multiple teams to remain in this lobby for so long.
I'm waiting for Inner Circle's decision here and see what they could do as to whether the Wolves are going to have a good time or not. APG actually trying to send off to the hilltop first, not wasting any time, but immediately they're about there. Go Inner Circle as well. Wolves take shots out that way.
You're crazy.
In they careen. Doran straight on top of it as well. Looks for the fight. Falak not going to allow him any entry. No quarter given, but T24 is the price they pay. The rest of Wolves, though, on the back lines, will not be able to find the angle to go for the flush. Noki stepping forwards, burning baton, out of position. IQ humbled slightly on that peak, but will be able to get some healing done as the reses start to come through. This is Inner Circle's time to turn it around, but Baton again layering down these nades. A response from Falak keeps his team safe. Time and time again, he's coming in clutch, and this is no different.
He goes very slow on the uptake here. Finally moves in position. It's a long nade. Will get a lot of damage done, but he needs more than just that. Falak once again with another strong shot. Will step up, takes him down, and that will be in a circle as 4. This spot is really nice to hold, and teams desire it. As we just saw from 2 squads trying to go for it, I understand what Wolves are trying to do is play the split down towards the west side, but you absolutely have to play as a 3-man in this ditch and just give up the angle.
Ooh. What a nasty little roll up here from D+ Nolbu on the ridgeline in the smoke with a big nade. Does so much damage to them. There is an answer, but Nolbu still has got all of the solutions for them. And it's IC getting rolled down. Nolbu! Oh my goodness me, what a play coming through from Nolbu on D+. That hilltop is not safe for anyone. And how on earth do you find that? Nolbu standing head and shoulders over the lobby. A madman, magnificent, resplendent, glorious.
I mean, they're still even taking shots towards Reject. Reject to go Del Sara's down. Divines knock, Chips with a long-range angle as per usual. Nolbu might even smile after this game. We may get treated to the rare Nolbu grin.
Oh dear. All toothsome and tricky. As Reject cut down to size, the Falcons are still here, Blank, and they do have 3. They do have this hilltop. I feel like if I was a betting man, I would put money on Falcons. But unfortunately, I'm not. So it's staying in my pocket right now. Well, yeah, and you know what? You know what? Actually, after what we just saw, it's all on Nolbu, baby. Let's go.
Oh my days. It's so unreal. Oh, it just takes a little bit of a warm-up for South Korea, apparently. That's all it is. Dear me. I wish we saw more international tournaments with the South Korean squads. They are so damn good. And it does just take a little while. But they learn so much from these lobbies as well. And they get a bit of a reset through the year. And they come back stronger than ever.
I mean, talk about shirking the day one blues. They were cloaked in glory in London last year. And now it's all a flourish for D+. Holby with 6 elims. This really is the man of the hour. He's got MVP of this game on lockdown right now. They've got 11 nades blank and 6 spokes. They are in a pretty solid spot in terms of utility. And the circle not really putting too much pressure on them right now. It's up to Reject's duo to move. And it's likely they go south, over towards the Falcons angle, a little bit closer.
Oh, P90. Pretty slow game though right now. Everyone involved. Ought to make sense for D+ considering they are 2. 2v3 is not out of the question. Just tries to get that first knock on board. And honestly, so far, they haven't been majorly impressed with the gunfights coming through from the Falcons. This game looks a lot better though. I think that despite everything, and this is more praise for a singular player than Malvallo, is that I think the Falcons, I've got to be really proud of this guy because he is doing such an unbelievable amount of work for the team, and also over many years of play. Malvallo has been insane. I think over the past maybe year or so, he has been returning to his full form, to his final form at least, because I think back in the day he was insane. He had a little bit of a drop off, but I think he has a lot more hunger for the game again now.
That's lovely to see. He's not smiling right now, but you can be sure that blood is pumping. You don't pull off a play like that and not feel it a little bit. Hopefully the adrenaline drop-off here in Stage 8 isn't going to be too bad for him. Got to keep the focus. Dropping the smoke train. Knows that Reject has moved up. And he's using that smoke train just to get over this ridgeline. Knows he would be exposed otherwise.
Big thing for
single team approach.
Big thing for D+ here is that they got a massive resupply. There were so many teams that fell down that ditch, so you have all the nades that you could ever want. You've got all the smokes you could ever want. You can see here the Falcons actually has less nades on 4 players than D+ have on 2.
There's more in the boxes as well. Let's sit around them, right? Even if they throw them out, doesn't mean they've only got 11 to play with. It's just a question of what they can fit in their backpacks right now. D+ moving in. Chips scouting around, still having vehicles here is pretty powerful stuff. Falcon smoke has been thrown on out. Reject looking to hop into the buggy. Koa still watching this run out. Reichi not going to use the buggy. It's a little bit low on HP. And actually, how has he just done that? Okay. Oh, no blue down. Okay, maybe that's go time. Falcons, move in, get something done. Try and take some presence. Redox, nade over the top. Chips, dropping the smokes. They've got so many to play with. Now's the time to use them. That nade looks good. The bounce is on. It's just short. Doesn't quite tag the flush. Just by the vehicle. Nades are coming at them from both angles. They get the res, but it's immediately re-knocked. Chips needs to get out of there. now. Nobu, he's going to be taken away. And everybody's descending. The Falcons rolling over the hill. It's, I mean, it really was that north side hill of Nobu, the headline. A magnificent play coming through from the South Koreans.
Yeah, incredible stuff, honestly. I think for the Falcons, you're very, very happy with the way that one played out, and it does see them a lot safer in this tournament too. But I think the Falcons, it's just nice seeing three of them towards that end game. Also, not an easy rotate, and I think Ralph has definitely spoken before about how those early to mid-game rotates are quite difficult for them. This time, I think they identified some very strong portions of the map. They played it well, and as a three, we can see they can still succeed. They can succeed as a four-man as well. But for Nobu, a warrior soul from Seoul in South Korea. Incredible stuff. Just cannot wait to see what the guys have to say about that.
And the Falcons get their first chicken dinner here for...
across the bridge. The Falcons here really want to highlight, sure, they didn't do too much rotationally speaking, right? They were just kind of idle a big portion of this game. But this is why you hold on to your bloody utility until the last circle. Yes. Because you can just use it and just bully teams. And Redox uses that buggy perfectly to get that elimination. But you just bully teams, and those nades were so pinpoint accurate, Niptura. The G Plus and Reject couldn't do anything but get pushed against the blue even further. That was such a good use of utility for Falcons, and finally, we are seeing a Falcons win. Hopefully, the first of many.
It's about time to see them at the beginning of the match go all in one vehicle, which is questionable, to winning the whole thing. I love seeing that art coming in from Falcons. And to go back to your point, yes, the utilities were amazing. They were pinpoint. They were great. But it was backed up with the timing of a lifetime. As soon as they saw that Elam feed light up with D plus Kia, they went, now is our time. Let's go. Nades at the ready. Just immense pressure onto both of those teams. They could do nothing about it, Max.
Yeah, it was a tough one, definitely, for sure at the end. But yeah, you said it, the timing was on point to go through the replays here of this game. But you know what? We're talking about Falcons a lot here, I'm sure. We need to, that was the four-man car rotation. We need to talk about G Plus's timing. This game, those Eastern fights, they would just pick and choose what they wanted to do, how they wanted to execute it, when they wanted to execute it. D Plus, man, after day one, there was a bad day. They've been on an absolute killing spree, and once again doing it today on this Erangel match.
Yeah, it was really nice to see that. I love seeing that so much. And what I love about that as well, Dukes, right, is like the team, they not only decided when they were going to do stuff, they also decided when other teams were going to do stuff, right? Rejects tried to push up on them, and they went, no, now's not your time. We say no, go back to your compound. No, not allowed. And that's exactly how it happened. So that control of teams was just great from them.
I mean, they showed us why they are your previous champions here. They didn't mess around in this match for sure. We saw that push from IC onto the Wolves. By the way, Wolves, I think they could have had this match if they would have played it a little bit more aggressive once they got that position rather than playing it passive. But the IC pushed on them. Once they heard that fight ring out, we saw DK, do a beautiful wrap. And oh my gosh, that knock from Nobu was ridiculous. But yeah, let's see these rotations here, Max, man. From a beautiful military circle. These are some of my favorite to watch.
Yeah, and you're going to be seeing Falcons and Rejects just like, oh, okay, little circle, military, just cross very early on, and you don't have to do too much movement. Even though Falcons did hold that southern coastline for a good portion of this game, they do eventually center up very, very rapidly. But I want you to pay attention to D+. They were pretty center on phase 1 going into phase 2. And then they're like, we don't really want to be center of the circle here because there's going to be a lot of attention thrown our way, so we're just going to hug the eastern side instead. And by doing so, they open up opportunities for them to look at fights break out, and third party, or in this case, what we just saw here, they leapfrog the fight of, I believe it was Orangutan versus Chiamba Nichira. And those leapfrogs from third parties and the timing of those fights were paramount for them to get into the late game and have an opportunity to get on that podium finish. D+ here, showing some S+ tier gameplay in my opinion.
Yeah, really, really did. I love seeing that from them. That leapfrog against Tiamba was just insane. Again, the timing coming through from them was really, really nice. And it is going to be reflected in the points, right? Tiamba gets 6 points, but D plus Kia get 10 more. 16 points on the board for them, and Falcons getting 19. Just one shy of that 20-point game they were probably looking for. But hey, 1 point isn't going to be the end of the world this early on in the day. And honestly, it's so nice to see them try and step it up in the final day. A little bit too late, but not too late, right? It's late, but not too late. They still have time to make it work for them.
I'm a bit scared for GS team, to be honest, right now. They were currently the cut-off team, right? Cross position. Not seeing too much presence here, and they're going to be slipping, especially when you've seen things like Reject Hodges that are initiating the build to come back, especially on this previous Erangel game. It's not boding well for them, so we'll have to see how that goes. That's Novalo, the great key, yes! Key of the game, let's go. Now, this is the Novalo that I know I'm loving these matches.
Oh, man, that's what we've been waiting to see it for sure, right? I mean, we're waiting for that Team Falcons win. I'm so happy they got it now. And honestly, I'm going to say this, right? I think that they realized, they had to have known that it was D+ on that hill, for sure. And once they saw that knock, I like that both teams were like, no. This is the team we got to take out right here, right? Let's go ahead and make sure that we need these points so bad. And man, do the Falcons get it. They had 68 points before this match. That jumps them up to 8th place with 90. But you are right, Max. Max, man. Look at all the way at the bottom right there. GS, right, weren't able to put up any points, 66 in total. It's looking pretty dangerous. They put up a few points, right? They put up a few, but not enough.
It's not enough for right now. Currently, they're going to be 8 points behind Loops without a single chicken dinner, so kind of rough for GS team. But it did impress quite a bit. I was enjoying some of the plays from Jafar in particular during the Gauntlet stage. They've not been able to replicate that to a similar extent so far in Group Green. But Reject, they started off the day at 38 points, right, Nitra? Here jumping up to 51. They are 8-1. 2 good games. They could possibly put in the middle of the rankings where they could move on into the last chance. So Reject, we need to see this kind of momentum build up for the rest of the day.
They
falter here. There might just not be enough games for them to make that comeback happen.
Yeah, I'm going to stay it up 100%. Okay. Like right here, right now, or it's done in my eyes. Ned, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see them definitely going at least for a top 3 podium finish, like a really strong game, maybe just shy of a win, but hopefully a win in the Miramars. I think they're going to use these arrivals to really just build on that momentum. One thing I do want to point out in these leaderboards is IC making a comeback, right? 4th place, 103 points on the board for them. They're getting pretty close, and, you know, they actually had a really good game that game, right? Trying to push up onto the Wolves. They did get that push done well. D+ were actually a little bit late on their third party, but they were just able to just back it up with immense firepower. But honestly, for me, I see continuing to have a good day today.
I don't know that teammate. There's a team called that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Looking at the top 4 playing of this game, we do have Norvalo, Falak, Radiosio, and then Noble, in my opinion, would normally be the MVP. The MVP gets to be on the winning team, but I think that if we took it purely based on stats, it would have to be Noble because, oh my goodness, Nitra, this guy, I don't know what happened to him this game in particular, but he was a demon. And he would see you, you would not even survive 5 seconds. You were done. You're out.
Yeah, exactly. He just decided who lived and who went back to the lobby. It was like, no, you're not allowed. You're not a threat right now. I'll deal with you later. And he was just going through the rest of the lobby so methodically. Really love to see that. And hey, you know what? Reggiosio, first time we're seeing a Reject player on this board. And it's nice to see him second place, 5 eliminations, putting in that work, putting on those points.
Yep, and like I said, they needed them because looking at the difference, right? So in the last game, we saw Loops. They were at the cutoff with 61 points, okay? And RC had 38, all right? So that difference right there is a total of 23, okay? Now Loops have 74, and RC have 51. You know what that is a difference of? 23, right? So they have not progressed at all. Right, in order to make it into the last chance stage. So I'm going to say it again. It's chicken dinner time. I think they extended it to 1 more game, but at least in my eyes, this is the last one for me. What do you think, Max? You think they have another one? Do you really think so?
I think there's still another one. I would say, you know what? Yes, they still have 1 more, mid-game that could happen for them, but after that, it's going to be game over. Halfway point today, we need to see something come out from these guys.
Ooh, that's bold. That's bold. Naturo, what do you think?
I think that, yeah, I agree honestly with Max that they have a little bit of extra time, but they don't have much.
Well, let's go ahead and take it on over to the stage with 7WG with Falcons and Narvalo.
Welcome back to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm joined by Narvalo from Team Falcons. Narvalo, great quick rotation from Pachinki to military. And honestly, I want to talk about your gameplay because I feel like your gameplay has improved from day 1 to now the final day. What have you been doing the past 2 days to make sure you can actually perform here on the final day?
I think for this game, like, it was a call, the plane path was north, and we said if it's military, we should be first to reach like the island. So it was a call to go quick and go on the left side, no block, as we kind of studied, and then I think we move way faster and with better position. We take better position first and second zone, and that brings us better endgames.
You definitely did. Now you're currently, I believe, 17 points away from the top 3. Do you honestly think you can make it to top 3?
For a game, we could think it's too far, but after this game, we did, I think, more than 17 points. So like, if we just need like 1 or 2 other games like that, and we should be close to the top 3.
Well, Team Falcons, the confidence is back. Let's see if they can make it to top 3. Back to y'all.
Let's go, man. You know what? I totally agree. I think Falcons are absolutely in that range for top 3. I think this could be a big game for them here. I think they could definitely handle a mid-game, but it's going to be a chicken dinner coming up from some of them. As a matter of fact, I'll go down to even Gen G. What do you think about that, Max?
I was quite supposed to. Oh wait, we're in French mode. French accent. Put me in the French mood. Sorry about that. But no, for them it could definitely be possible for Gen G. I mean, we saw what they could do in Miramar, right? They got themselves a Rondo also yesterday. Very good game over there. But Miramar is the map that stands out the most to me when it comes to Gen G. The Wrangle, if there's any map that we want to see more from Gen G right now, it would be this map. It would be the grassy patches.
Yeah, it would be. It's what we need to see, especially because, you know, they need the points. They need the points, and they need to go quick because those teams at the bottom, they're still pushing, still going. So, honestly, it's not so much a wrangle. I think for me, it's like match 3, done deal, needs to be done now.
Let's see if they can do it right now. The last Aaron Gale of the day. Let's take it on over to our casters, John and Blake.
Am I going? We've got one more, right? After this, we've got one more, Aaron Gale. We've got 2 more to play, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah. Match 16 will also be on Aaron Gale, so don't go getting ahead of yourself there, Dukes. I know you want to see who's qualified, but we are going to have to play all of the matches here. So off the military base over towards Stalba. It's only fitting we start the play from down here, where our last match ended, sending straight over the top of good memories. Well, quite a lot of good memories for Novu and the Falcons, and going over towards that Stalba position on the northeast side.
Yeah, it's a bit of an eastern playing map here, so it's slightly more difficult. It's actually getting tough for me to talk about these games at the moment because there is so much happening, and there's so much to analyze, there's so much to go over. It's pretty tough for me. I mean, for Wolves there in that last game, I really wanted to talk about their position a little bit more, just because it is a case of, as that 3-man, you no longer have the power to split off like that, and you sort of have to suffer a little bit where you don't have that angle off towards the western side to watch for approaches, but you have to hold that ditch as a 3-man because it's likely people are going to crash onto you. This is what I mean by just these small errors in gameplay. Again, hindsight is 2020, and I'm out here of the observing this. Oh no. The double is insane. Maybe I cursed him. I said I wanted to see him, so give it to us. Oh, fair enough. We'll give you 2 today. Fair play. APG get a nice start. They got immediately over towards Millie Base as we started down there nice and early. The difficulty comes in the fact that this moves away from Millie Base at that playing path. So if this is going down from Kameshki towards the south, teams that are dropping late could have readjusted on their playing path, on their parachutes, down towards military base. In this case, it's really only Gen G and GS who get a decent start off the back of this one. So another game potentially for reject, as well as Tiamba, who both start very close to this location and try and lift themselves out. But it's getting very far ahead of them now. It leaves with 74 points, 51 and 50 apiece for reject, as well as Tiamba.
I mean, the major difference on this West Bridge is Gen G being here, right? Go had a pretty free and clear rotate over last time. If Gen G pull up and cause a fight to start here, Falcons, we saw they wanted to rotate fast early. This is the same circle, the same decision. I don't think too many teams will have time to fully review what happened there, except for maybe go on that rotation. They'll know the Falcons move fast. If they get stuck down in a fight here, the Falcons are going to crash straight into the back of it. This 3-team traffic jam didn't exist in the last, and GS are holding the East Bridge in the meantime, by the way. You see just how sticky this spot can be. There's Tiamba moving in. This is on the East Bridge now, and there is a roadblock. There is the cow drops bet out. They're looking for the backstop player. They're looking to try and disparage them from getting a forward stick. Des has to drop down though, and that's where the backup needs to come through from Jafar. It's there in spades. Buckets of bullets pouring down on the bridge. And now the off angles are brilliant coming on through. There's finally an answer from Tiamba, but it's too little too late. They've lost the majority of their players. Nobody else is pushing in right now on this East Bridge either flank. So no chance that GS get run down by a third party.
I think it's one of the few times I think that you just like send it. You just send it if you are Tiamba. The initial shots weren't that great from GS, and I think Tiamba respects it a little bit too much. They crashed just directly into the wall before they've taken barely any damage. I don't know if it was the optimal play there in that instance. Again, it's one of those things where it could have gone either way. Tiamba drops out, they get the first two knocks, and then easy to play from there. But I think that really hurts Tiamba's chances, and I think they have to take a bit of a gamble on just the straight approach into the zone. And Natsura actually brings up a really good point about Falcons, where if they get another strong game here, potentially is the initial rotations. Now, me and you've been covering PMSLE for the longest time, John, and we know that the Falcons are some of the slowest to rotate. Because they play Pachinki so much, they already have this central position. I actually think that that position hurts them a lot. It is one of the strongest locations in the map because it is so central, but it's made for this almost stagnant gameplay coming through from Falcons, where they don't make these initial rotates to strong positions. They'd rather play Church on the west side of Pachinki and wait things out if it's a western circle. I think here, because we do go to Sosnovka, it forces Falcons to take risks, to make moves, which they wouldn't necessarily otherwise go for. And they're benefiting from it. It says a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they are now, after that game, very much in with a chance of getting top 3 here as well, Blank, is going to be great news, and they'll love to see a game that they just succeeded on very, very in a very big way, right? Repeat itself, hopefully. But the second circle on last match was also a big factor. It forced a lot of teams to move to the north side of the island after having tried to rotate around, occupying a lot of the area, a lot of the ground around that. So that was a big factor in the dynamic of that last
Could be further over towards where Observatory is. Alpha Gaming actually goes for a different maneuver. You know, they'll take Observatory for themselves, try and get that high ground nice and early. I think for Alpha Gaming, it's almost weird where I think that this team will perform even better than they have here over in the Grand Finals. I think that sometimes there is a sense of boredom that comes through from this team at times, where they really do want to get stuck into things. They don't like playing slow. And they are so good at the game. And I think that does create difficulties for them. That's a sad shot. That's
a little bit of damage, but I mean, this should be extricable for loops. Neither team really wants to stay here for too long, though, Blank. I mean, there is a lot more of the North Island in this search. It's maybe actually safer to stay built at the time being.
Yeah, I think so. It's getting very messy. VJ actually gets there quite early, so because they were moving so quickly, they passed straight by from the northern beachhead. Could come back to bite them. I think they're trying to control as much area as possible. For OG, it's a long rotate for them down towards the south side. Aerie realizes that as well, and they're going to pass over towards the west, which actually cuts out a lot of teams for them they'll have to go up against. Is Papa Supermassive up against Loops? Loops, the most in danger right now of falling down into the bottom 5 at 75 points, just 5 points clear from GS.
Yeah, it's 3. We were expecting it to be somewhere around 140. That's what we saw from Gauntlet on the same number of matches. It was 141, I think, and the fourth place was 140. So very, very close. Could be around there. Could be a little bit different. So if you're up and over about 150, that's where you start to feel pretty good about yourself, right? That's where you start to feel a lot safer in terms of that top 3. And then we're playing with the 11th place top, which is not easy at all as well. And it seems to be very, very closely fought. Probably going to be closer to around that 90-point boundary. So getting up and over 100 sees you a lot more secure into those at least last chance stages.
There are teams now breaking into that as well. Even towards the middle of the pack, I mean, Papa Supermassive is not far off breaking that century. Malo, what's our Wolves who a little bit too close for comfort? I think this should be a 3 even, yeah, absolutely.
I think he's stepping too far there. I was very worried. I think any other team but Reject Malo might have gone down there.
He wants those points, man. He wants to bump himself up in the tables. You respect him for it. But you are right. I think what you said at the start of the game is very pertinent here, where Falcons actually are in with the running now. I think think there's only one spot up for grabs, personally. I don't see D+ putting on the brakes anytime soon. I think Alpha Gaming have done more than enough this tournament. I think personally, if you're an Alpha Gaming fan and you're looking how they're playing today, it might not look flashy, but they're playing slow because they just want to get regular points, consistent points. And that's even if they just play like this, there is going to be a game today where Alpha Gaming has a strong position and they win from it because they can. And I think that will see Alpha Gaming through towards the grand finals, and they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it as well. I think Top in particular, you know, having a wife and 3 kids and a kid, right? It's a lot to juggle. It's a lot to juggle, but it just shows that even at 26, like, you can still perform extremely well, as long as you have the grind up. It's incredible.
Well, Loops have been on the grind here for a while, trying to get on into the zone, but they've had to go all the way to the west side, and OG might draw them short here. Lots of damage already felt by both of these teams by the blue zone. We're into stage 3, so it's non-trivial to deal with. Yelzada, nade in, shotgun shut down there on a tanky. I don't think that's going to be resable, but there's the off angle they were looking for. I think did that come through from Aru? No, it was the burn coming through from a tanky with that Molotov. And both teams are going to start to lose players. I think disengaging, if you can, is fairly wise at this stage. OG going to try and make a run for it. Loops maybe actually getting this res here. It is still resable for just a moment longer. We'll see if they can make it work. And yeah, OG, off they go on their bike or buggy or whatever they can find.
It's a very, very tough approach here for OG. And again, this is what I meant earlier, where I think this Western Bridge is probably the more wise decision. It takes a while to get here, but OG definitely make it. They're going to take a quick scout over the bridge, quick reset on the meds, but there's no one waiting here. Why is Ultra still on the north side?
The arrow is shining light out.
Worried? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that it seems like they're very worried about what's going on the other end of things. Again, it is hard to scout that far across, and I think that they have seen multiple times that teams have been held out in this location. Come on, let's still go for it. You got to make the cross at some point. I am worried that what they're going to do is they're going to go for the swim. In which case they give up a lot of vehicles.
They're just refueling. Don't worry. They just stopped off for snacks. That's what it is. Alba was hungry. Guys, it's all just an aid of a full stomach. Can't be taking gunfights on an empty stomach.
Oh, we're getting to stage 4. And 9Z is coming in behind them right now.
What? Maybe they're not waiting. Maybe they're the ones bridge camping.
Maybe. Come on.
Oh, that's the
time to go now. It's time to go now. Thank you.
You can't get yourself picked back up after this stage as well, so very dangerous to stay out this long.
I think we're in a situation of AE there yet. Slightly bit more of a tongue twist than I thought that was going to be.
It's 2 letters, mate.
So they've got across. They have got across. Circle, back up towards D+. Over on this north side, playing the hilltop. I think this is a messy circle. It's a very messy circle where you're over towards Millie base as well. We are cutting in a little bit of airstrip, which isn't too comfortable to play in. I think Wolves want to get out of that area as soon as possible. Great shots. Alpha Gaming, though. Goodness me.
Ooh, okay. Shots down towards Alter Ego. They'll need to pick these reses up as fast as they can to get onto this next zone. D+ ahead of them to their west. You've got 9Z who actually, rather shockingly, just steps straight on through, but straight in the reject, already to get pulled to pieces. Reject very happy to see some points delivered to them. The question is, can they find the shots? Can they find those shutdowns? There's only one left on the inside. I don't think it's going to last too long here. Reject looking for the last player on the end. I'll rotate in. Comes through. As we see a crash from Team Secret. They're still alive, by the way, in the picture-in-picture. On the north side, actually, towards Loops, who might be in a bit of trouble. Can't quite find their way in here. As Elis is just trying to hide in the corner.
This is kind of like, I mean, this is a shotgun. This is a shotgun bonanza. He steps out at the right time. There's one. What's for the next as well? Yes, the plus size huge. Has to go for the reload though, and now reject on the revenge path. They lose one player, but they do shut him down.
Oh, that's disappointing. You know, it's just one guy in there, just re-peak. I suppose that they did set up the compound quite well in terms of the two monster trucks denying the entry towards the window. So if they get crashed on, that's how they defend versus 9C. But that is a situation where you should be able to hold out as 4 and just refrag onto the player. The fact they lose one there is really bad. From a central position like this, it's really not good. I also think that there is something to be said here about 9Z, where although you know they're at 87 points, they've had some good games, there is a lot of impatience from this squad. If they can't find a good position early into the match, they will just send it. And oftentimes, they will just find themselves in really sticky spots on the map.
I mean, to be fair, you don't expect the team to be bridge camping you on the East in that scenario, right? Like, it may be really confused them, but that's the sort of thing, I guess, you also can't afford to be able to get confused in a scenario.
I mean, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sending center.
Oh, yeah, but like after that, you're like, oh, we got to go. There's obviously a big roadblock ahead of us. We've just got to go for a mad dash, right?
Also, like, just play on the edge.
You must assume if there's a team still on that bridge, that there are teams ahead of them, right? So you assume that the ground in front of them is very, very full. I'm really trying to give them as much leeway as possible here, and I will admit, maybe I shouldn't. Papra and Supermassive, though, down to their last player against Loops, and they're not having a good time of it. That is going to be Papra Supermassive eliminated, and Loops are up to 9 elims, Blank. You said they were the team that's most in danger of dropping down. Well, they are certainly acting like it.
Yeah, and again, the more points that Loops gets in this match, the harder life becomes for a lot of our teams underneath. I mean, the Reject and Tiamba, I think Tiamba, it's done now. I think it is done. I think the Tiamba is almost impossible for them to get back up towards that top side. Genji looking dead over towards GS, who are also chasing. I think GS are also struggling, but likely will retain a place.
They're moving
inside the bottom 5.
Quick has to hit the deck. Falcons know exactly where he is. That'll be pinged out on the vehicles, but they are pulling back a little bit. Icon taken down. That is the last player of GS, and that is APG rocking up to this one as well. The Falcons on the far side really causing some hurt, some pain there. They're up to 5 elims. APG as well, looking to tip themselves up and over. They've broken that barrier that we were talking about. They're over 140 now. One more at least. Dammy under pressure from these nades. At 3 position with the Falcons flying into that far hillside as well. It's not going to last too much longer. Up to 142, and the placements are going to kick in soon as well.
If Alpha all this is right about now, it's just not giving us first place. The jump up in price pool between second and first place is quite a lot in most PUBG Mobile tournaments. We still reward our top 3 very handsomely, but it's usually first place who does take the biggest cut of the prize. I think that, to be fair for Alpha, they were playing it very slow because they knew that they were holding on to first place, but as soon as D+ started turning up the heat, they knew they needed to get a little bit of a game in. And this one's been good. I mean, even taking the opportunity to move over towards Observatory, that's very unlike Alpha Gaming. Kenny takes Krypton along with him in the vehicle. I think that, you know what I would quite like to know is how many vehicle eliminations Docs had this Blue Green. I think we're up to 6 or 7 now at this point, which is more than I think we've ever had in any one tournament.
Oh dear. He is certainly a terror behind the wheel. Whoever gave him the driving license, I'm sure they're regretting that one. So we take a look over towards the rest of this game, though. Teams are starting to fall fairly quickly now, Blank. The hilltops to the north, fairly convincingly under control by D+. It's Inner Circle. Again, that fight for the top spots here. 3rd place, very, very closely fought between Goat and Inner Circle. Losing players here would be nasty. They've already taken a lot of damage, and as D+ are up against Ocel has the off angle, and Goat are taking shots as well. Oh no, Inner Circle having a really bad time, but they still got Falak. What can he do here? Fabian close by, but backing off to find chips on the res.
D+, Chips goes down. Nade on the top towards 5. Does get a lot of damage done.
a circle, taking a lot of damage. They should be able to hit chips back up. It's nice to see.
This is really Reject's game right now, with one player from inner circle to fall down. It's D+ with a central position. It's kind of D+ versus Reject again. Blank. In this circle, the southeast side that we see on the picture is APG versus Falcons. E24 is going to give it a good go. Does find Nolbu, but get taken down in response. Yeah, that's going to get flushed out. IQ is actually still alive in all of this. He did manage to get out of that fight. I am still focused, though, on this fight on the southeast side as we zap on over to it. Falcons with 4, APG with 4 as well. Haven't really been able to find success on either front of that, and APG disengaged and moving up to the hills to the north and maybe look at a fight D+.
I think for D+, try this fight between D+ and Alpha Gaming, which probably will break out towards the end here, will be the fight of the day. Very excited to see this one happen. Falcons need to break wide though. Currently Joel is holding this spot. For the Falcons, we did speak about this at the start of the game, that there is a big chance to jump up above inner circle, above GOAT into that top position. And honestly, if we get Alpha Gaming, D+, Falcons in the top 3, whew, what a lineup that will be going through the grand finals. It'll be unreal.
I mean, I don't think going into today anyone would have called Falcons with a chance.
But this is the last day. It's the last day always. It's always the last day for the Falcons.
It does seem to be, doesn't it? There's something about it. They have a potent resurgence built within them. Built different somehow.
It's curious as well, because usually Alpha Gaming is like the team that is the last day champions, where in that final day, Alpha Gaming is known to put up a disgusting performance. But right now, they are taking 2 knocks straight away. Falcons equally are suffering versus the Wolves. Just Doran here, actually.
Yeah, top 3, the Falcons, APG, DK, oh yes. Hang on a minute. Doran? You can't be doing that.
Yeah, close the door right in the face. I'm sorry I didn't give that too much fanfare. Honestly, it felt like, oh, okay, we get 1, we get 2, and then Falcons will clean this up. Surely. You do not see 1v4s in International. I cannot believe Doran pulled that off.
I mean, blink if you miss it, right? Doran was... Oh my god, okay. Well, Wolves, again, not really probably going to get too much out of this game, but certainly ruin it for the Falcons. The decision to crash onto Doran for the Falcons, though, might be an interesting one here, Blank. It feels like...
I think it's fine.
Okay, I'm sure you can transition towards Reject later on, potentially.
I think it's okay. I mean, Alpha had that lineup. They couldn't really crash that way on the east. Also, if they do that, Reject have sight lines. I think you don't see many players, if at all, over towards the silos. So you just send it, and you get soloed. I don't think the decision-making was poor. I think the gunfight was terrible. But the decision-making, I don't think there was an issue of it.
I mean, we need a replay of that at some point. Hopefully the desk will have that locked down, because Doran's going off right now. Maybe he's going to do it again. He's got a lot of smoke to play around. He's going to get up to the wall. Reject don't want to let him cross, but they don't really have too many options right now with the smoke cover.
I do like for Doran, he's now just using the entirety of Falcon's utility to cross 20 meters.
Oh dear.
I'll show you guys how to use util.
Oh my god. Doran. Reject's like, where's he getting all these smokes from? What? Is it more than one dude? What's going on?
Some kind of Nimbus cloud off in the distance.
Oh dear. Well, he's made it to the wall.
Great job. We did it.
That's so many smokes. That's insane. OG getting found on their last player. The Goats pick it up. Goat have been down on the belt buckles for a while as well, trying to crawl across the open ground. 5 teams remain. 8 eliminations for APG as well on this match. They've only got 2 remaining. No.
Come on.
You gotta
Please.
stop. You cannot be allowed to do stuff like this. Kraken has to hit the deck. They can't really take 3 fights here. Doran steps up for another. No, Doran! You can't do this! You can't do this! This is PMGC! It's not allowed! Someone put him to bed! It's his bedtime! Surely he's out of this game! No, Doran! Stop it! Goats go down to the Giant Slayer! What is this man doing? He is absolutely crazy!
Oh, dear me. Doran will not let you get a foot in towards this circle. A 1v4 into a 1v3. This is magic on the main stage. We talked about rabbits out of a hat, but right now, Doran's making this look easy. Gets up to the wall as well. Probably should go down to this nade though, but goodness me, what a game it's been from him.
Okay. Oh my days, it looks like the nightmare's ended though, and now we're up to the hilltops. APG on 2 players alive, they've got a lot, but it's D+ again in this late game on a military island circle. They find top, and now they're looking for Zio around the corner as well. 3rd place guaranteed for APG, at least that will put them over 150. Or maybe not quite. If they can get another elim, that's what they'll be looking for, but still very, very close, very comfortable to be in the top 3. Our first team to really, truly lock it down towards those spots. D+ want to join them though, and with a chicken dinner, you think that they might be able to. But Reject again in a late game circle, 6 elims. It's almost more important for Reject than anybody else right now.
It absolutely is. For Reject, they want the chicken dinner, but they got 2 big dogs in the lobby, and right now they're the Chihuahuas. Let's see if they can make it happen versus the best of them. Zio takes some shots off and towards the distance. They do have the low ground to play at the moment, do Reject. They have vehicles as well, which is the main thing, but D+ continues to send nades their way, keep them backed off from their position. D+ looking to fight out for those bragging rights at the top of the tables.
I mean, Reject have the center of the circle though. D+ are sure they've got a high ground position, they've got an angle, but they're going to have to move. The point's denied from APG.
It's mean.
They actually picked up the res in order to deny an extra point there, which is kind of nasty. To the blue zone it goes, but now D+ versus Reject. Already a good game for Reject, but they desperately need this chicken dinner to stay alive in this tournament, to jump up towards that 11th place bubble. It's going a little bit long onto Ragey. Downhill, it's always a little bit tougher.
If a Reject, they need the chicken dinner. Like you say, it's imperative that they get it. It's not a case of, oh, it would be nice for Reject to have a chicken dinner. At this point in time, it is a case of, it's required. It is a necessary procedure for Reject to grab a chicken dinner here, to finish out this game and give them that chance. Because I think even with a chicken dinner here, it doesn't take them out from the bottom 5. But it will be the first stepping stone for them.
D+ starting to run a little bit lower on those nades. You can see they've only got 3 remaining. Ragey cooking another. If he finds a knock, this would be huge. The Molotov, probably a wiser decision. Force Ragey off of the tree. The question is, does it land on spot? It definitely did. Look at that damage tick away. He has to fall all the way back to the vehicle. That's going to be a lot easier for D+ to go on towards. They know the damage is there, and they have to go over the top now. Right down towards the buy. D+ trying to stop Reject from getting on in. And Ragey looks for the spray down, a wild rollout here, and Apollo finds it. Osal is down. They do not find the backlines. They haven't got a knock yet, and there's another one onto Fabian. D+ is starting to fall blank. It's now 3v2. Reject have the inside of the circle. They are desperately climbing towards those tables, towards that 11th place, but Ragey will finally go down to the nade. One more left. Look on for Apollo. Nobu with a chance here, and it's going short of the tree struck.
Divine's down, leaving it all down to Apollo in a 1v2. An impossible task ahead of him. Pulls a pin on the grenade. Reject looking to reject defeat here in the face of impossible odds. No, it's not meant to be.
Oh no! They can't get all the way across the line. D+. Take it away from them. Still, not a smile in sight. They are so cool, calm and collected. Into the top 3 with them. They looked pretty solid before. Now, even even more so for Reject. In tatters. A lot of points, but is it enough?
Absolutely no. I think for Reject, they did get some of the flushes towards the end there. 6 points though, you can see that they are absolutely dismayed about that one. But again, it is a little further down on this journey for them, because it's a long way coming that they need to go to get out from that bottom 5, but they're getting some successes today. There's still 3 more matches to make it happen, but Reject historically, those Miramars haven't been fantastical for them. I can only hope that they can continue here, John, with these strong performances. But a D+, it is another big game in the pocket.
With that insane chicken dinner, I think D+ might have just secured their position to the grand finals. And how did they win this game, Max? Back against the wall, so little time left. They had to hit those